Time to finish up Higurashi and what they have translated so far. Hopefully it won't take forever and a day. There's only a few more chapters left, so it should be pretty quick. At lunchtime the next day, everybody in class was talking about Rena's disappearance. We're all worried about her safety, but I kept a safe difference from everybody else. I do wonder where she went. Someone said that she was demoned away. How could they say such things? I can't believe their nerve. Kate-san, you look down today. Meep. Sadako and Rika-chan noticed something odd about my attitude. I couldn't sleep at all last night because of what Rena told me. Friends don't keep secrets from one another. That sentence bit into my heart, and I couldn't sleep because of the pain. Mion, Sadako, Rika-chan too. I have something I need to talk to you about. Is it about Rena? No, it's not. It's about me. So I had to tell them about it because they were my friends. But I didn't know what I was expecting to change by doing so. They might despise me. Is there any benefit to telling them? No, there wasn't. I knew that for sure. But I still wanted to tell them about it just because I thought it'd help heal the pain I was feeling. What is this about, Kate-san? Well, it's the truth about myself. I'd appreciate it if you listened to me. It's about what happened to me before I moved here. I was the kind of guy who wasn't good at anything but studying. I learned the tricks of the game called studying at my cram school. I enjoyed the sense of superiority I felt by getting good grades. I kept studying just because I wanted to look down on the other students. When my grades got better, my parents got happier, and my teachers praised me. I felt good. It was fun to look down on the students who were good at running, dodgeball, or swimming. That was the only reason I kept studying. Before I knew it, not only was I at the top of my class, I was at the top of my school. So I started to think I was the most important student there was. I looked down at the kids who were playing the schoolyard during lunch break. I enjoyed feeling a sense of superiority to them in my thingy, in my insignificance. The more I studied, the better everyone expected me to do. They started to place high hopes on me. They expected me to go to the best school in Japan. I flattered myself in thinking I deserved to go to that school as well. But the fun went out of looking down on people, while the burden of studying didn't change a bit. My classmates stopped admiring my cleverness after a while, and my teachers started to push me to study more. All of a sudden, the fun was gone out of it. To begin with, I didn't even like to study. I had average reflexes. I was average in a fight. I was an average boy with nothing that really drew attention. When I found something that I could use to get that attention, I jumped on it. It happened to be studying for me, but if it was riding a unicycle or juggling, I would have done that too. When I realized I didn't enjoy studying anymore, it got very boring. I was just a little boy who wanted to be praised when I did something better than anybody else. I finished all my summer homework because my parents praised me for it, and I took charge of cleaning duties at school because my teachers praised me for it. So when they stopped praising me for what I did, I began to feel like my life had no meaning. My parents used to give me an allowance that was proportional to how good my grades were, so I used to get a substantial amount of money for my age. I don't know if I had a natural interest in violence or if I was looking for it because of my frustration at the time. I took an interest in BB guns. First, I shot at cardboard boxes. It's fun. Being violent at a piece of cardboard relieved a lot of stress. Nobody blamed me for doing that. Soon I started wanting to do something that I should have never done. On the box of my BB gun came and was a warning label that read, "Do not shoot at people." That was when I thought about doing just that. Why did I do something I shouldn't have? I guess I was just immature. I wasn't interested in studying anymore, but I forced myself to do so anyway. My parents forced me to go to several cram schools. I was mad at them for that. I should have told them that I didn't want to study anymore. But I didn't have the courage to do that. So I used my frustration as an excuse to do something cowardly. I shot at kids who were younger than I with my BB gun. It gave me such a thrill. It felt so good to do something bad when I was so overcome with studying. Needless to say, I had no personal grudge against the kids I shot. As long as the kids passed through a deserted street, they met the requirements to become my target. I didn't mean to hurt them. I shot them once or twice from a distance. That's all I wanted to do. Sometimes they didn't react at all because the BB hit a thicker part of their clothes or something. I didn't like that, so I started to shoot until they noticed that they were being hit. This inevitably escalated into a barrage of gunfire. I study a lot. I'm doing something good. So to do something bad to balance out the good thing I'm doing. That was an unbelievably selfish excuse I made. I thought I had the right to do things like that because I was suffering myself. I thought people who weren't suffering like me, like I was, deserved to be shot and get hurt a little bit. I was so selfish, so arrogant, and so immature. I was disgusted by myself. I could have met myself at that time, and I would have given myself a punch in the face so hard I'd knock out all my teeth. They started to call it a series of attacks on school children. The principal of my school held a morning assembly to inform everyone about the case and to warn them to be careful when playing outside. I was laughing sneakily. PTA issued a letter of warning and advice to take the safest way to and from school. Parents took turns watching kids when they walked between home and school in groups. The more serious it got, the more it reminded me of the excitement I first felt when my grades started going up. I was absorbed in that game I was playing. I didn't think I was going to get caught someday. I didn't even think to stop doing it either. One day, I found a little girl who was walking down a narrow, dark street alone. She's a very small girl. I don't know if she was on her way to her friend's house or if she was running an errand. I didn't care which. I was careless of her to go out alone. School had to warn her not to, so it was her fault. Just like always, I made a selfish excuse and attacked her. Some of the shots hit her in the back. She noticed she was being attacked by someone. She turned around. It was a natural reaction. At that time, I hadn't hesitated to rain hell upon her. When she turned around, I was still shooting at her. Usually when I shot at a kid, she cried in pain and ran away. This girl was different. She thrashed around in exhilarating pain, holding on to her eyes. As I saw her doing that, I realized what had happened right away. The BB had hit her in the eye. Till that moment, I didn't think about what would happen if a pellet could easily go through a cardboard box hit an eye. Anyway, the girl howled in pain. For the first time, I realized I had done something horrible. She saw me, so I couldn't take her to the hospital. I couldn't do anything about it, so I left her there while she was still screaming in pain. I wondered if she was okay. I was worried that she lost her eye. I kept thinking about her. I didn't even feel like eating that day. I went to the bookshelves in our living room, snuck a medical book into my room, and studied the structure of the human eye. It was too late to make a distance, but I studied what kind of injuries could make a person lose their vision. I knew it wouldn't make the sin I committed weigh any less, even if I found out that she wouldn't lose her sight. I couldn't sleep that night. I suffered from a high fever. It wasn't my parents, my teachers, or the police who first punished me for what I did. It was my own body. Before dawn, I woke my parents up and confessed to my sin. They were shocked at first, but it seemed like they understood the situation quickly, due to my recent disobedient behavior and my interest in BB guns. My mom cried hysterically. My dad slapped me in the face till it swelled up. Before the sun came up, I turned myself into the police, accompanied by my parents. Satoko stared at me with a stunned expression. I deserved to receive that kind of look. What I did was very wrong, and I need to accept that. Is that all true? Yes, it's all true. I'm sorry I didn't tell you until now. What made you want to tell us? Yon asked me. Mika-chan nodded in agreement. To tell you the truth, I don't understand why. Well, I know, but... No, I'm just saying that I don't see any reason why you have to tell us about it. Well, I don't want to keep secrets from my friends. You're my friends, so I couldn't hide it from you anymore. What are you expecting us to do? I'm not expecting anything. I just... If you're asking for forgiveness, I can't give it to you. You have to ask the kids you attacked if you want that. It won't help any of us tell us about it. I agree with Rika. I think you're really brave to tell us, but I don't understand what you want to do from here on out. I don't want to do anything. I just thought it's not right to keep secrets from my friends. My friends looked annoyed by the same confession of my past. I took it as bitter medicine. Got what I deserved. Get-chan, I have a question. Why can't friends keep secrets from each other? What? I mean, that's what you're saying, but... I really don't agree. I don't agree either. Mion and Mika-chan looked obviously disagreed with my statement. Sadako nodded, following suit. I don't think it's wrong to refuse to tell people things you'd rather not. You'll have lots of things you don't want to tell anybody else about, like tragedies, mistakes, and other things you don't want to remember. If I have to tell someone everything to be true friends with them, I wouldn't want to have them as my friend at all. But Keiichi, there's a difference between things you need to confess and things you have to confess. You have to confess what you did to receive forgiveness. But once you're forgiven, you don't need to keep confessing. Quite. You turned yourself into the police, and they scolded you good, did they not? You atoned for your sin, and you were forgiven. What do you have to do? You turned yourself in, and you accepted the result. You did what you had to do. It's very important that you keep reminding yourself of your sin, so that you won't make the same mistake again. But you only have to take care of that on your own. It's not something you have to confess to everybody. That's very true. I have many embarrassing stories I'd rather not tell anyone. Meep. Sadako does have quite a lot of them. It's not only me! Rika has a heap of them too! Meep, meep, meep. Sadako and Rika-chan fooled around with each other like they always did. Mion looked at them and then looked back at me. Sadako just said something very important. Did you get it? You mean the part where she said that she has a dark past that nobody needs to know about? No. The bit after that. She's saying that everybody has something they'd rather hide. Considering that nobody grows up in a sterilized room, we all learn by trial and error. It's what's called life, you know? You do both good things and bad things in order to grow up. Your goal is to be a wonderful person by the end. Everything that happens is a very important experience, including both the good and the bad. The same goes with everybody, with Sadako, Rika-chan, and me too. The same applies to everybody in this class. For example, me used to be a very bad girl. Meow, meow. Ha! Well, I'm not proud of it or anything, but shooting at people with a BB gun is like nothing compared to what I did. I used to throw bricks at people. I can't even count how many times I ended up in a cell at a police station. During the Dan conflict, I was a regular there. I'm not kidding, it's all true. But it happened in the past, and she doesn't have to tell you about it, even though she's your friend. Even though she's my friend. I made a lot of embarrassing mistakes and committed some crimes too. But I don't tell you about them because telling you wouldn't help in any way. If you feel better by telling us about your past, we'll listen. But there's no rule that says you have to tell us about your past just because we're friends. I don't want to dig up a past that you don't want to talk about. That's what true friends are about, I think. I agree with you, but we're happy if you feel better now by telling us about your past. We can forget about it if you want us to. We'll never change the way we see you because of this. What you did in the city has nothing to do with who you are right now. You're a precious friend to us. I actually don't want to know about your past, to be honest with you. I agree with Rika. The same thing goes for the other way around. Even if you did something great in the city, if you're a nasty person here, I wouldn't care what great things you did back then. In other words, Kei-chan, the sin you committed in the city is something you should just keep secret in your heart. You don't need to dig it back up just to tell us. I mean, you can, if you want. And if anybody changed the way they saw you because of that, I'd look down on them. No matter what happened in the past, as long as you're a great person at present, you shouldn't be embarrassed of yourself, am I wrong? What's the purpose of living if we can never earn redemption? Sadako used to be a big baby who couldn't do anything by herself. She regretted it deeply, and now she's a strong, independent girl. That's why I admire Sadako today. I don't care how weak she used to be. Rika. What about you, Kei-chan? Are you going to change the way you see me because you now know I used to be a very bad girl who was a regular at the police station? You won't, will you? I am who I am. Our friendship won't change, and we'll keep playing and laughing like we always do, right? That's what being friends is all about. What? What's going on? Nana's trying to cheer me up with an encouraging smile on her face. But her expression became distorted all of a sudden. Big teardrops fell from my eyes. What? Why am I crying? Let me just say this. I didn't know anything about Satoshi, because you all hid it from me. We didn't mean to hide it! You didn't tell me about the incidents that happened every year, right? That's because we didn't want to, You didn't want to scare me? Just because of that you left me out? No, we didn't mean to. Mion didn't know what to say. She had tears in her eyes. She thought she did me a favor. She didn't know why it turned out like this. She didn't want me scared of the village since I just moved here. What more reason did she need? I asked you before, Mion, if there was a crime at the damned construction site. You told me there was none. But there was a dismemberment lynch murder. You lied! I'm sorry! I didn't mean to lie to you. I thought friends didn't hide anything from each other, right? So that makes us not friends. But our friends. We're friends. What were friends to me? They were my true friends. They really cared about me. They were so nice to me and helped me feel at home in this village. Couldn't have been happier. Everything was great, wasn't it? Ketchan, please don't. Mion seemed like she didn't know what to say. Her eyes looked moist. It was hard to believe she was really acting like this. This wasn't like Mion at all. I could feel her pain. She was in pain because she didn't know what I was blaming her for. She looked so sad. I didn't notice her pain. I thought I was her friend. I didn't understand her feelings. I didn't trust her. I used the word friends, but I didn't know anything about what friends are supposed to do. That's right, I was such a fool. Mion was Mion. She was my best friend. Why did I doubt her? Why? Ketchan looks down these days. He just moved here from the city. I guess the fatigue must be setting in. He probably caught a cold as a result. I see. Then he needs to eat something nutritious. My grandma's making ohagi today. I'm going to ask her to give me some, so that way we can bring it to Kei-chan. Oi, Mion! Wash your hands first. Hello, Rena-chan. Would you like to try making one too? Wow, that looks like fun. Yes, I'd love to try. Here we go. Yeah, I have a great idea. What is it, Mi-chan? Huh? What's that little bottle? What is it? It's not fun to only have sweet ohagi, you know? Let's put hot sauce in this one. It'll wake him up for sure. That's right. That's what happened. They bought ohagi for me to get better. They only tried to cheer me up. Why did I get so scared of them? Just because Mion knew I had lunch at Angel Mort, I grew terrified of her. Hey, you don't look so good. Maybe you should lie down. That's right. Maybe we should leave. I just wanted to cheer me up with a joke. But because I look so serious. See you. Please get better soon. Hope we can hang out in the club together tomorrow. That was a normal way of saying goodbye. I don't want you to be absent from school tomorrow, okay? First of all, have I ever visited any of my classmates who were absent with a cold? No, I haven't. I haven't done such a nice thing to anybody because it was too much of a bother. They did that for me. I understand visiting a friend in the hospital, but I just caught a cold. They came to visit me with ohagi so that I could get better soon. I should have been thankful to them and said, I'll get better soon and be sure I come to school tomorrow. So I'll see you then. That's what I was supposed to say. What did I do instead? I locked the door. I closed the door and locked it as if rejecting them. What was I so scared of? What was I so afraid of? Why didn't I say any words of appreciation to my friends who cared about me? I was just so scared of the ohagi they brought for me. What was I thinking? It was impossible that there was a needle in one of them. There wasn't actually a needle at all. It's all in my head because I read some manga about someone putting needles or razor blades in people's food. It scared me so much that I believed it could also happen to me for some reason. I thought there was a needle in the ohagi. You're so stupid, Keiichi. Why would your friends put a needle in food they only brought to make you get better? It's crazy to think like that. Even if there was a needle in one of them, I would have thought it was some kind of mistake. And I should have believed in my friend's innocence. That's what a true friend would do. But what did I do? They're the ohagi they spent so much effort making on the floor. Why? Why did I do that? I got along so well with them. I moved to Hidemazawa and I made friends for the first time in my life. They were my best friends. Meeting them was the most wonderful experience of my life. I probably never had another one like that for the rest of my days. I knew that, but I got scared and I doubted them. They noticed that I was acting odd. That's why they called the manager, Irie. They thought a sedative might help me relax, so I could rest and get better. That's why they called him up to my room. Mion just wanted to make it fun. She's the kind of person who expresses her goodwill by making a joke out of it. I knew the better than anybody. She knew Irie would roll up my shirt to check my heartbeat with a stethoscope. She was just trying to draw graffiti on my shirts, like she did with Toмотake-san as punishment for the game he lost. Yes, that's why Mion took a felt marker out of her pocket. A felt marker. She borrowed a marker from home. She just wanted to do something funny. She tried to cheer me up by making me take a punishment for fun, rather than nursing me, because that's just what Mion is like. She went to the trouble of bringing a felt marker to my house, because she wanted to cheer me up. Rena held me down tightly, and Mion came closer to me, write something on my shirt. Mion whispered the words she was going to write on my shirt. I heard them clearly. I heard what she was going to write on my shirt. I hope you get well soon, Mion. I heard them. Then why? I should have known she wasn't going to do anything to hurt me. Why? Why did the marker look like a syringe to me? Why did I think that Mion was going to kill me? It's impossible. It was impossible. Why? Why did I misunderstand that Mion was going to kill me? The numbness in my head receded, and slowly I felt blood start to run through my entire body again. How long was I squatting down there? A few minutes? Or a lot longer than that. As I looked at the clock, the hands weren't moving at all, as if they had stopped while I had my eyes closed. Really? The atmosphere in there wasn't filled with the insanity it was earlier, but it was quiet and gray. Rena wasn't holding me down. Mion wasn't about to give me an injection. Was all of that just some kind of illusion? There was no sense of presence other than myself in that room. It was an extraordinary experience, the kind I had never had before. I was there with Rena and Mion. Doubted my sanity for a moment, but at the same time I felt some kind of relief too. The scary incident was just an illusion after all. Neither Rena nor Mion would have done such a terrible thing to me. Tears started forming in my eyes. My emotions were running high. Why? It wasn't a question of why the tears were forming in my eyes. Why? It's a question of my sadness. Why did I feel so sad? I don't know. I don't know. You don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You do know. I was so stupid. What the hell was I doing? So pathetic and helpless. Mom just tried to cheer me up, that was all. I liked her so much. She was my best friend. She was older than me, but she hung out with me like we were the same age. She was the first one who came to talk to me in class. She was so nice to me, but Mion was lying in an unnatural position near the window. She was covered in dusky red blood from her head to her chest. Red fluid splattered on the wall. It was Mion's. What had I done? What had I done? I would never forgive myself. I truly did think of you all as my friends. Why did all of this happen? There's nothing fun in my life at my old school. When I talked to anyone, it'd only ever be about my chances of passing the entrance exam in the schools we wanted to go to. My life was shaded in gray. Friends to me were rivals and enemies to vie with for school recommendation and test scores. My friends here taught me just how unnatural that was. This whole month was a blast. We raised the roof over lunch, our club activities, and at the festival. Warm liquid flowed out of my eyes. To my surprise, it was my tears. I didn't have any obligation to cry for them, but I couldn't stop it. Even though they attempted to kill me, even though they almost killed me, I couldn't forget the memories we made during the past month. Or were those fun days fake? Was it an act when they kept playing perfectly to set me up until today? Was it only me who believed they were my friends? Couldn't be. Ben and Mion, they were my friends for real. Those happy days couldn't have just been a performance. Ben and Mion must have been forced by somebody to kill me, or that an extraordinary existence called Oshiro-sama possessed them and took over their consciousness. No matter what it was, both Rena and Mion were my best friends. I was stupid. I was such a fool, such a fool, such a fool, such a fool. It doesn't make any sense at all. I killed my best friends. They were my best friends. Then why didn't I trust them? Why didn't I listen to them? I beat them to death. What did I think I was? I made it sound like I didn't do anything wrong. I felt like everybody went crazy except me. I was such a fool. It was the other way around. Of course it was. I was the only one who went crazy. Kei-chan? I did something terrible. I'll never forgive myself. Mion was still alive. I had a memory of beating her to death because I couldn't trust her. That's a memory from a non-existent different world. But even though it happened in a different world, I killed Mion. I didn't realize how deep the sin was. I even thought until now that Mion was at fault for being killed. What's wrong with you, Kate-san? I don't know. Keiichi, please, Kate-chan, please calm down. I'm not dead. You didn't beat me to death. I mean, I'd never let that happen. Okay? Quite. There's no one in our club whom you could beat to death, Kate-san. No. Mion and Sadako looked confused, having no idea why I was crying. But I couldn't help myself. I learned just now that I had earned redemption by confessing my sin. But could never earn redemption for this. Not from Mion. No matter how much I cried in this world, no one could give me forgiveness. And so I could never earn redemption for this sin. Right then, Chie-sensei came in and noticed me crying. You wouldn't see a teenage boy crying like that very often. Chie-sensei asked me what was going on, but at no moment I couldn't hear anything. Me and Sadako looked confused. They didn't know how to explain the situation. Chan approached me in the midst of my sobs. You remembered, don't you, Keiichi? You remember how you killed Rena and me? Yes! I killed them! But I didn't accept my sin. I pretended I was the victim. I cursed and I blamed my friends until the moment I died. There was blood everywhere, and in the end I just died alone. Without any regrets. I crawled at my itchy throat in a phone booth. I didn't notice my sin, and I died alone. Keiichi, did you notice your sin just now? Yes, I did. It took me so long, but I just noticed it. I remember what I did, not here, but in a different world that looks just like this one. I killed my friends because I couldn't trust them. They were just trying to help me, but I didn't listen to them. I don't know why I didn't. I didn't care if people were staring. I just kept crying. I wanted to transmute my sin to tears. I wanted to squeeze it out of me. But the tears that were coming out of my eyes weren't my sin. They were just tears of regret for doing something irreversible. At the time, I felt something touching my head. I opened my eyes and saw Rika-chan patting my head gently. I didn't need any comfort. I didn't deserve any comfort from Rika-chan. But the words she spoke to me weren't words of comfort. I forgive you, Keiichi. What? Keiichi, you noticed your sin. It's a very difficult thing to do, and not something everybody can. Not everyone can understand how great you are, and hence, they can't forgive you. But I can, because I know how great you are. Rika-chan, this is a miracle. You noticed the sin you committed in another world. That's impossible to do, but you did it. As the most unbelievable and precious of miracles that could exist in this world. I didn't understand anything Rika-chan was saying, but I felt like she was the only one who understood that impossible memory I had. So, she should be able to understand what Rena Ryugu is going through right now. Yes, I understand. She's going through exactly the same thing I went through. She wants to trust her friends more than anything, but she can't. She's the one losing her mind, but she doesn't understand that. She thinks the world is going crazy instead. I don't know how to save her. I have no idea, because I failed. I didn't understand until I died. No, I didn't even understand even when after I died. How can I make Rena realize what I did, even after that? I can't save her. I can't save her. I know because I was just like her. There's nothing I can do. Calm down, Keiichi. I did fail. Didn't mean Rena would too. There's no excuse not to save her because I thought she'd fail. After all, what did Rena do back then? She was totally going mad, but she risked her life to save me. In my room, in that world, I'd beaten her many times with a metal bat. She was smiling. She knew I was scared. That's why she smiled for me. I beat her so many times. Her arms were broken and her forehead was cracked open. I remembered Rena didn't block her head. Even at the very last moment, she opened her arms towards me, like she was looking for a hug. But I still doubted her. I raised the metal bat up high. Rena told me then that it was okay. Please, trust me. My friends still told me to believe in her. She told me to trust her, but I still didn't. I lost it and attacked her. She was in danger. She was actually killed. But she didn't block her head. Instead, she just used her arms to reach out for me. Rena continued to say those words until the moment she died. Trust me. Please, trust me. She risked her life to save me. Until her very last moments, she kept telling me to believe in her. But I didn't listen. For so long, I truly believed I didn't do anything wrong. I feel a little bit better now that you've forgiven me, Rika-chan. But I still have to atone for my sin. I'm going to do that in the same way Rena did for me. I'm going to save her. Rena risked her life to save me. She cared about me until the very last moments. She trusted me. She believed that her words would reach my heart, so she kept saying them until I cracked her skull. I didn't care if I die. Rena died for me. I can die for her too. I was such a fool for failing to excuse me. I was such a fool for failing to understand my friend's feelings. That's why I didn't understand what she was saying, but Rena might be different. This world is messed up. But it doesn't mean that I can just quit. Quitting is the same thing as not believing. Believe in Rena and our friendship. That's why I can still make it. I can still prevent a tragedy from happening. I can change fate. We've struggled together to seize our future. Rika-chan nodded with a serious look on her face, and she put her hands in the pocket of her skirt. Keiichi, I won't give up either. I'm not going to lose hope in this world. I was tired from meeting with countless failures. I gave up on this world as it started to go wrong. That's why I kind of gave up on Rena last night. But I was wrong. I realized that the will to fight is such a beautiful and divine thing, and that it can work miracles that can even alter the path of fate. So I'll fight with you. I'll fight again. I'll keep fighting until I reach the future. I have no idea what you two are talking about. It's normal that you don't remember. Keiichi is a special exception. Huh? I suppose I'm too brilliant to understand what's going on. Rika-chan touched Sadako's forehead to hers. But please remember one day. When you're desperately driven into a corner of misfortune, please remember that he risked his life to save you. Keiichi-san fought for me. It's hard to believe. Isn't that right, Keiichi? Rika-chan looked at me, smiling as if waiting for my agreement. I wasn't sure if I could risk my life for Sadako. No, I was sure I'd risk my life for her. Sadako is my friend. If anybody tried to make her unhappy, I'd beat them up without hesitation. I'd risk my life to save her. There might have been a world like that. I nodded to Rika-chan. Rika-chan nodded back to me, looking happy. My Bada-kun, is everything okay? Chiyo-sensei realized I'd finally come down. She asked me that. Yes, everything is fine now. I'm sorry I worried you. Anyway, Mion. What? What is it? I walked towards her. Mion stepped back, not knowing what was going on. She bumped into the blackboard. What is it, Kei-chan? You look so serious. Huh. I held Mion tightly. She still didn't know what was going on, and her face turned red. Crying on her shoulder, I told her the following. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What? What are you sorry for, Kei-chan? This old man doesn't get what's going on. It's okay. You don't need to get anything. So just listen to me. I'm very sorry. And the hoggy you made me, they were really good. They were delicious. It cheered me up. Well, I wanted to tell you that. I would go to school the next day and the day after that, too. I wanted to tell you that I'd see you tomorrow at school, but I couldn't. I'm very sorry I didn't give you any words of appreciation until today. I'll never doubt you, Mion. I'll never doubt any of my friends. Never, ever again. So, Mion, please forgive me for what I did that day. Mion must have no idea what I was talking about. Of course, I didn't either. I didn't understand what I was talking about. But my sin wasn't forgiven yet. I needed to confess my sin in order to receive her forgiveness. I know you risked your life to save me, Mion. So I'll risk my life to save you too, when you're in some kind of trouble. I promise I will. Kei-chan? You're making me blush. Mion's face was bright red. She didn't know what was going on. Sadako was blushing too, with a confused look on her face. But Rika-chan and I understood everything. We weren't going to accept a tragedy. We weren't going to give up just because the world was going out of order. We were going to fight against fate to the very last moment. Mion fought for me. Rena fought for me. That's why I was going to fight for Rena. Just like she did for me, I was going to risk my life to save her. Oh man! Oh hot dizzity! Hot ziggity! The summit was being held at the traditional Japanese restaurant in Shishibon City. When a black car stopped in front of it, 3 burly cops got out of it, followed by Oshi. They were welcomed by the Sonozaki Corps members in equally black suits. There's something you didn't see every day. Thank you for having us. We apologize for being late. I'll take you to the room. Please follow me. There was a sign saying reserved at the entrance. Oshi and his subordinates were taken inside. They walked through the restaurant's pretentious landscaped garden, and they came to the gorgeous Japanese-style entrance. It's Akane! A woman in a kimono was waiting at the entrance, as was Kasai. Upon seeing the police officers, they stopped chatting and bowed deeply. The woman in the kimono was Mion's mother, Akane. Nice to meet you, Miss Sonozaki. Thank you for having us today. It is a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming all the way here, despite your busy schedule. Not at all. I've been looking forward to the feast I'm going to have today. Tsumihoroboshi-hen is favorite of its dried bean curd, right? Yeah. I can't wait. Long time no see, Kasai-san. It's been forever since we last met in person. Yes, it has been a while. Well, we seem to be at war, but I hope we can settle with this like adults. Although we're ready for an all-out war whenever you are. No, we have no desire to fight. Neither do we. Everybody knows how messy things get when you get involved. But I'd like to avoid that as much as possible since I'm not that young anymore. Obviously, this was a meeting between people who hated each other. Tension in their words indicated that it wasn't likely to be a friendly meeting. I'll take you to the room. Please follow me. I'll feel bad that our host is taking us to the table. Well, I know we sent you an invitation under my name, but actually today's host is the Sonozaki main family. I'm sorry for the confusion. I see. Can I go back and get my bulletproof jacket? On the other side of the door, there were several tables, and Mion was sitting at one of them. Since Mion was still younger, her school uniform functioned as her formal dress. Since it still looked strange for both police and the corps members in black suits. Hello. You must be the successor of the Sonozaki family. Thank you for having us today. Thank you very much for coming. Please, take a seat. Mion politely welcomed the police, undaunted even though they were older than her parents. Mion gave Kasai a look, and he tapped on the door. The waitress who had been waiting behind the door began bringing out drinks. Oshi-san. What's going on here? I'm not sure. Well, let's enjoy the meal first. Their dried bean curd is pretty famous, you know? They started drinking, but the tension continued for a while. Mion made the waitresses and the other members of the Sonozaki Corps leave the room, soon leaving only Oshi, his subordinates, Mion, Akane, and Kasai left in the room. Whoa, let's start talking about why we're here today. Akane nodded and began speaking. We're having this meeting today so we can resolve our misunderstandings. Such as? Kasai wanted to talk to you about Ren Ryugu for personal reasons. Therefore, this meeting is about the private circumstances between Tatsuyoshi Kasai and Ren Ryugu. The Sonozaki family has nothing to do with this. What are these private circumstances? Ryugu-san lives an honest life. How can she have any kind of private connection with Kasai from the Yakuza? Kasai? Yes. Allow me to explain. Kasai told the police officers that he happened to meet Rena in a coffee shop in Okiyamiya. He explained that Rena found something he had lost there, and that she offered to bring it back to him. That doesn't sound right. But for argument's sake, why don't we assume that you're telling us the truth? What happened after that doesn't make any sense. I heard that you told your members to find Rena Ryugu. That's actually my fault. Rena's son's father was worried about her because she didn't come home after dark, so I sent my men to ask if anyone had seen her downtown. But I made a small mistake. Wait a second. You made us come all the way here, and now you're telling us to believe this bullshit. Could it be you're making fun of us? Oshi looked more like a member of the Yakuza than the real Yakuza did. Oshi threatened them with Nash's smile, and then piled all the more tension to the atmosphere in the room. Oshi-san, please don't! Kumagai tried to make him stand down. Officers with hot tempers paired with others who are good at calming them down, just like the Yakuza do. That's how the Yakuza do! Oshi backed off with a grin. Kumagai took over, continuing from there. So what you're trying to say? What are you trying to say? Do you not want us to intervene because this is a civil matter between Ren Ryugu and Tatsuro Kasai? That's not going to happen. We're going to give her protection. Mion opened her mouth for the first time in a while. You need to explain to me why the police have to protect Ren Ryugu to begin with. Why? Because you guys are after her? Oshi answered bluntly, but Mion remained nonchalant. It must have made him even all the more annoyed. What makes you think we're after her? Why don't you ask what's in your chest? It might know something. Oshi-san, we're here to resolve our misunderstandings. It's your choice not to listen to us, but I think it's better that you do. Oh, and what are our misunderstandings exactly? Your misunderstanding concerns the scrapbooks of Miyatakano that Renaryugu is in possession of. The officer's expressions grew stern all at once. All of a sudden, she got straight to the point. You want to protect Renaryugu because she has the scrapbooks, is that right? Oshi and his subordinates glared back at her without saying a word, making it obvious her guess was right. Kasai? Akane gave him a look and he left the room. However, he shortly returned, carrying a black suitcase. Every one of the officers assumed that there was a tremendous amount of money in the suitcase and that the Sonozaki family was trying to buy them off. Kasai opened the suitcase and showed the contents to the police. Are these? These are Miyatakano's scrapbooks. I'm afraid we don't have the ones she gave to Renaryugu. This is going to be our main course for today. Do you mind if I take a look? No, feel free. We can talk after you read them. I'll make my people leave if you'd like. Oh no, you don't have to do that. Cops produced latex gloves from their pockets, put them on, and took one of the scrapbooks out of the suitcase. There's more than 10 of them in there. We found them in Miyatakano's house in the Okiyamiya after she passed away. Oshi and the others desperately turned the pages with the well-thumbed scrapbooks. Are you sure these are real? Without a doubt. Oshi-san, if Renaryugu has the other scrapbooks, that means maybe the ones she has have the same kind of stuff in them. Oshi looked stunned by the contents of the scrapbooks. He started turning the pages faster, then closed the scrapbook roughly. Do all these have the same kind of contents as this one? Yes, they do. Feel free to take the time to look at them until you're fully satisfied. The other officers also rapidly turned through the pages. They weren't reading them, just flipping through. They took one scrapbook from the suitcase after another, flipping through the pages roughly. Oshi-san, this is absurd. These are just crappy occult novels. This one says that the netherworld collided with this world and that the dead souls flow out across the gap. What are we going to use this? How are we going to use this as proof? Well, yours says something about the netherworld? Mine's about creatures from the bottom of the ocean. This one's about classified weapons of the Nazis. This one's about the legacy of the Mu continent. This one's about Ozzy, the mysterious, instead of Nessie, the mysterious creature on Gofuchi Swamp. Fucking! We can surmise that Renaryugu most likely has a scrapbook about the parasite theory that we've all heard of. Police were dumbfounded. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. The other officers were shooting glances at Oshi. They hadn't said anything to him, but they never really believed in the story of the parasite, let alone the bioterrorism. But Oshi had believed it, and told them that he had the proof. None of the scrapbooks in front of them said anything about parasites, but it was easy to assume the contents of one scrapbook was no different from the nature of another. In other words, all of them were just crappy occult novels. God damn it, Takano! Well, Oshi appeared unable to accept the fact that was facing him. Now that he was actually looking at it, it was too difficult to ignore. Takano was an occult geek who had a laughable idea of the legend of Onikafuji, but Rena took them seriously, and so had Oshi. The other officers could no longer stop themselves from laughing at the ridiculous scrapbooks. Oshi glared at them, and they stopped laughing. The main reason Oshi took the story of the parasite seriously was because the Sonozaki family apparently was after Renaryugu for the scrapbooks she had. Plus, Takano, the owner of the scrapbooks, was killed. Because of those two reasons, he believed in the occult B novel. Oshi was frustrated without a doubt. He has to accept that he was wrong. Oshi was eager for any information that could help him solve the series of mysterious deaths of Hinamizawa before he retired. The combination of a number of factors made Takano's ridiculous theory become highly credible for him. Let me ask you something. Why was Miyatakano killed? We have no idea what happened to Miyatakano or Jiro Tomatake. Of course you don't. A liar doesn't call himself a liar. Come on, Oshi-san. Do you think we'd do such a lousy job to let the police find the bodies? Mion wore a cold smile. She had said too much. Kane cleared her throat as if to condemn the statement, and that made Mion shut her mouth. Oshi glared at the young successor, but he knew she was right. Then why are you after Renaryugu? We're not. I admit, it's our fault that we made it look like we were after her. For that, we apologize. The reasons which made Oshi take Rena's delusion seriously collapsed one by one. Mion and Akane looked at each other. They must have decided to let Akane speak. She did so firmly. We'd like to ask you a favor. We don't want to be involved with the police because of nonsense like this. We heard that Sonozaki from the police headquarters started work with the Public Safety Division. They're going to do simultaneous raids on our family using this case as their excuse, aren't they? They had been at Oshi's request. Oshi took Rena's story seriously, and he wanted to find the research facility that was developing the parasite. He was intending to use it as proof of the potential bioterrorist attack. He had no idea where to start looking. He tried to conduct simultaneous raids on all the facilities that the Sonozaki family owned in the entire prefecture, in cooperation with the task force, the gang groups, and public safety. Normally, the circumstantial evidence he had wouldn't be enough to get their cooperation. In fact, public safety doubted Oshi's source because they hadn't heard of any potential terrorist attacks. They trusted in their information network. But Oshi took advantage of his long career and his old friends, and he managed to get them to cooperate. Oshi's face broke out into a nervous sweat. Needless to say, he realized he was completely wrong. We caused you some trouble during the dam conflict, but the era has reached its end. And things have changed. We're a Yakuza group that sides with the weak and crushes the strong. But we're also trying to achieve peace and stability, in line with these changing times. If we get raided now, we're going to lose face. Who cares about your face? She does, actually. I know we'll find something with those raids. We're going to go through with them. If you find something, good for you. But if you don't, you'll know you'll cause a big liability issue with even that you can't escape lightly, Oshi-san. Alright, sounds like you really do want to go on an all-out war. Huh? Fight me! Starts pulling off shirt. Oshi, no! If that's what you want, please carry out your job to your own satisfaction. We'll take on the challenge any time. Kane Sonozaki didn't betray Oshi's expectations. Although her right to be successor was taken away, Akane had been through a lot more than Mion. Oshi couldn't back out now, but he knew that it was a fight he probably couldn't win. Kumagai butted in and tried to calm him down. If we put a stop to the raids, what would we get in return? Mion answered this time. We'll give you these scrapbooks as proof of our friendship. I'm sure you can use them to cancel the raid attempts. The scrapbooks proved how ridiculous Mion Takuno's theory was. Takuno was dead anyway. Oshi could show people these scrapbooks and say he was fooled. He could still pretend that the whole raid thing never happened. He might be able to take responsibility for it, but if he didn't back off now, there would be no doubt he'd face a hopeless mess. If he was going to back off, it was now or never. The administrative staff at his station weren't exactly fond of him. If he made such a huge mistake right before his retirement, people would be looking for a chance of revenge to cut his pension with glee. His pension was decided by multiplying his base salary by a certain number. If they cut his base salary, there was no way he could avoid a big reduction. Oshi-san. He decided to back off. It was hard for him to admit mistakes at his age. He grimaced with anger. Kuma-chan, can you take over from here? I think I've had too much to drink. I'm going to go get some fresh air on the porch. Excuse me? Oshi stood up quickly and left the room, making a loud noise as he walked. Kasai closed the door Oshi had left open. The room was filled with silence again. At that point, Kumagai opened his mouth. We understand your point. Our intention isn't to cause trouble to any organizations you know. You won't, so I'd like to confirm that the police and the Sonozaki family will help each other to maintain the peace of the city. Therefore, we're going to put off doing the simultaneous raids. Thank you very much. I'm sure our leader, Onryo, appreciates your concern as well. As you promised, we'll take the scrapbooks. And there are 2 more conditions. Go ahead. First, if you find the other missing scrapbooks, you must bring them to us immediately. Second, if you find Rena Ryugu, you must turn her over to us immediately as well. I'm afraid the second one is unacceptable. Rena Ryugu is in a state of delusion. We'll make sure to her safety and we'll find the best medical facility we can take her to. She has the right to receive treatment. We can't accept that either. We have the right to question her about the murder of Takuno, as the material witness, not as a suspect. Kane whispered to Mion. Mion in turn nodded and began to speak. Very well. We'll accept the second condition, but let us add another condition on top of that. We're going to send her a lawyer. You will only question her in the lawyer's presence. Understood. One more thing. You aren't allowed to delay us by not sending the lawyer on purpose. We'll start questioning right after we find her. We have no problem with that. But you must contact us immediately after she's found. We will as soon as we can. Kane cut in. You have to call us before you question her. You must call us the very moment she's found. This agreement is made in good faith, founded on our mutual trust. Please do be careful not to do anything that will waste it. Understood. You have my word on that. We'll try to keep our promise with the best of intentions. Akane and Kumagai glared at each other for a moment. Surprisingly, Kumagai was very calm. He was always in the shadow of Oshi, who was loud and noisy, but he used very much guts as the superior did. Oshi was good at taking care of matters in a rough and threatening kind of way, but Kumagai was good at negotiations like this. The meeting ended, and the police stood up from their seats. The tension in the room had finally ceased. Kasai put the scrapbooks back in the suitcase and handed it to Kumagai. Kumagai looked at Kasai, nodded lightly, and took what he was offered him. This is a very expensive case made in Italy. Please take it as a souvenir from us. No, we're only supposed to take the scrapbooks. We'll return it to your office later. Thank you for your time. Please give my regards to the family head Onryo-san. The officers left after bowing to Mion. After making sure that the police had left the hallway, Mion sighed heavily and finally let go of her tension. She spread her feet on the floor, flapping the rim of her skirt. Oh man, my shoulders hurt. Why didn't you take care of this, Mom? Don't be silly. Your rank is higher than mine. Rank is everything, not age. Hey, Kasai, have a waitress bring me a beer. Oh, and you can let the grunts in and give them something cold to drink, too. You want me to bring only beer? Oh, she can't drink. Bring some orange juice for her. But don't treat me like I'm a little kid. I guess my rank doesn't matter to you, huh? You're like 16. You'll always be a big baby to me. Anyway, your father pulled many strings for you this time. You should thank him. And you too, Kasai. You have to play it smarter when meeting with common man. I'm a little embarrassed. By the way, I'm impressed with Rena-chan for making a fool out of Oshi. You have many friends with good potential. I'd like to meet her. We can go see a play together or something. Kasai, whenever you see her next, let her know I said that. And don't tell her any more creepy stories, alright? Of course. I'm well aware of that. I just noticed Kasai's, tie has a bunch of skulls on it. With that, they successfully dispelled the magical power of Takano's scrapbooks. The whole mess shouldn't grow any larger. The remaining problem was Rena. Where could she be hiding? Where is Rena? That is the question. Hand on chin. Where is Rena? Rena! Before I went to bed, I headed to my window to close the curtain. I saw the shadow of a person near the porch. Who could it be so late? I didn't have to guess who it was. There was only one person I knew who might come to me so late. I opened the window and looked more carefully this time. I was right. It's Rena! It was Rena. She was just standing there under the light. I wonder how long she had been there for. It didn't look like she was going to ring the doorbell. She was just standing there. She seemed to be asking herself whether to ring the doorbell or not. For how long she had been standing there in front of my door. It looked like that even standing there was giving her a hard time. She looked very tired. I ran the stairs, put my sandals on, and rushed out of the house. Rena looked surprised to see me, even though I came out after making a lot of noise. Rena? Is that you? Rena! She looked relieved to see me for a moment, but then she soon glanced downward and looked sad again. How long have you been standing there? I don't know. Maybe since the sunset? Rena must have been staying somewhere outside for the last 2 days at the very least. It wasn't like she was camping for fun. She'd been in a state of high tension the whole time, believing that someone was trying to kill her. Rena looked utterly exhausted. She seemed to have taken care of the deep scratch she made on her neck the other day with some large band-aids. The band-aids had cute pictures, but only made the wound on her neck look more painful. I saw some band-aids soaked with blood on her arms and bodies, too. I can tell she made them herself. She had more scars than she did last night. Anyway, let's go inside. You haven't eaten anything for 2 days, have you? When I tried to take her in the house, she refused with a vague expression on her face. It wasn't that she didn't want to go in the house. It was more like she had to refuse because she thought she didn't deserve it. I can't take it anymore. Even at this moment, the maggots are moving through my body. It itches really bad, and it feels like they're about to come out from everywhere. Rena, I think you have some kind of disease. Why don't you get some rest here, and we'll go to the clinic the first thing in the morning. He understands your delicate situation, so he'll see you in private. No, I know it. I know exactly how Tomotage-san died. I'm trying not to do what he did as long as possible. Rena believed she was given some kind of suspicious drug that made her claw at her neck to death, just like Tomotage-san did. She had convinced herself that it was going to happen. She wouldn't hear anything else right now. But she really wanted someone to help her. She wanted help, but when someone tried to give her a hand, it looked like the hand of the devil. It was some kind of disease. What a horribly depressing disease it was. Well, I don't know how I'm going to die. But I don't think I have much time. It's not going to happen. You're a member of our unbeatable club, Rena Ryugu. You're not going to die so easily. Thanks. Well, I wanted to say sorry before I die. Sorry for what? Yesterday I said terrible things to you and I hurt your feelings. She must have been talking about last night. She trusted me, but when Oshi-san told her about my past, she felt betrayed. And after that, everything I did out of goodwill seemed like the opposite to her. I know what it's like. I once felt the same way about you, Rena. Well, before I moved here, I did many horrible things too. A lot, actually. Really? I didn't know. What I did is beyond comparison. You just shot somebody with a toy gun. I hit someone really hard in the head with a metal baseball bat. Everyone got really badly hurt, and I also broke the windows of my school, and... I know. But I don't care about any of that. You did that before you moved here. That's why you stopped being Reina Ryugu and became Rena after you moved here, right? To me, you're my best friend, who's very kind, thoughtful, and fun. That's the most important thing. I don't care who you were before. So, I was way worse than you were. I have no right to say you're not my friend. I felt the same way too. I was afraid of you because I heard about your past. Oh, you knew? Rena laughed sadly. She seemed shocked to find out that I knew about her history when she thought I didn't. But I was like, so what? Huh? It doesn't matter how bad you were before you moved here. You've been through ups and downs with tears and laughter, but since you moved to Hinamizawa, you've been living a proud life. The important thing is that you regret what you did. That's all that matters. You've grown up to be a respectable person. I don't care about your past. I should have noticed it earlier. Rena's Rena. That's why she's Rena Ryugu. I can't understand a simple thing when she said she wasn't Reina. Burp! I had dinner earlier, and it's making me burpy. You heard about my past too, right? I was pretty bad as well. Such a brat. I regret the stupid things I did, so I thought moving here was a good opportunity for me to start over. I believe I had been the person I wanted to be since I moved to Hinamizawa. Isn't it the same with you, Rena? It doesn't matter how you lived in Ibaraki. The important thing is that you're Rena Ryugu. You wanted to be in Hinamizawa, so I don't care about whomever Reina Ryugu was. Yeah, you're right. We can start over as many times as we want. We might make a lot of mistakes and hurt ourselves, but that let us become the people we want to be. You fall once or twice in your life, but that's life. We can't let that beat us down. We have to keep growing. So, I'm such an asshole for being scared of you because of your past. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. When you go through a lot of pain, you can be kinder to others. So I don't need to know your past. Even if I knew, it shouldn't change the way I treat you. But we were fools. We couldn't understand that until we went through things like this ourselves. Mion knew that from the beginning. We were such fools. We hurt each other and we made each other cry. So Rena Ryugu is, and always will be, my best friend forever. When you have to go through a hard time, I'll help you no matter what. Trust me on that. Thank you. I trust you, Keiichi-kun. It was very tragic, but what she said isn't true. She probably didn't mean to lie, but I knew she didn't trust me from the bottom of her heart. My words didn't reach her. I knew that because Rena kept telling me to trust her that time. She kept saying those words while I kept hitting her with the bat. But that still didn't reach me. I don't think I have much time left. But I'll try my best to save Hinamizawa, because wonderful people like you live here. No, Rena. I'm not going to let anybody take over this village. I'll fight so we can regain the peaceful days we had. I'll defeat their conspiracy. She said that she had trusted me, but she didn't understand anything I was saying. Even if I kept telling her that the conspiracy was Takano-san's delusion, it wouldn't reach her. Thank you, Keiichi-kun. Thank you for forgiving me. I do. I forgive you. So please forgive me for what I did to you. I'm going to save Hinamizawa, I promise. So, Keiichi-kun, will you help me? I trust you. Only you, Keiichi-kun. We can save Hinamizawa together. Rena! I know how bad of a corner Rena was driven into. If I was her, I'd be walking around with a baseball bat, thinking every single person around me was my enemy. Rena cared about me so much, but I saw her as my worst enemy. But Rena, you still trust me, even when you're driven into this bad of a corner. I can't understand what you were saying. I beat you to death while you were trying to tell me to trust you. You're different. You still trust me? You are so... Why are you crying? I'm sorry. I'll never betray you. I trust you, Rena. So please forgive me. I don't know what you're talking about. You always believed in me, Keiichi-kun. So I trust you too. I can trust you, right? You're the only one who trusts me, right? Tears fell from my eyes. I sobbed and nodded again and again to answer her. Tears rolled up in Rena's eyes, too. Before I knew it, we were putting our foreheads together with tears in our eyes. Well, we found a way to end this battle. Really? Yeah. I might not stand a chance, but this is the best and only resistance I can think of. Rena, I don't know what you're going to do. But if you do that, we can regain our happy days, right? We can, can't we? We have to. I'm not gonna let you go anywhere. Don't worry, Kate-kun. It's going to be a come-from-behind victory, and we'll gain our happy days for sure. I don't know what she had on her mind. It began with delusion, and it ended with delusion. If I encouraged her too much, she twisted into an attack on her. I was like it at that time. Took Rena's goodwill as the complete opposite thing. So I stopped denying her story. This was Rena's battle. This was her lonely battle. She had to fight against her own delusion. The more we tried to help her, the more we drove her into a corner. But I'd always be there for her. Whenever she needed help, she could reach me. I wanted to let her know that, so I said just one thing. I'm on your side until the very last moment. No matter what, I'm on your side. And if I told her to trust me, I knew she couldn't right now. I knew that, but I told her those words anyway. Even if she couldn't believe them, and if she tried to smash my head in, I'd say those words. Keep saying them until I die. Thank you, Kate-kun. Everything will be over tomorrow. We'll win for sure. And then we can play around the club together again, with everyone. We return to our happiest times. Although she wished to regain her happy times so badly, I couldn't get rid of the darkness that controlled her mind. Well, I have to go now. I have to get ready for tomorrow. To tell the truth, I didn't want to let her go. I wanted to stop her, even if I had to grab her arm. But I couldn't stop her like that. If I grabbed her arm, she wouldn't trust me anymore. Wait, Rena, what do you have to do to get ready for tomorrow? It's a secret. I might ask you for help later. You'll help me when I do, right? Of course. I nodded strongly so she could tell that I was still on her side. But I didn't know what her come-from-behind victory meant at this point. The first thing I could think of was that she was going to invade the house of the Sonozaki family, which she thought was her enemy, so I called Mion to warn her after Rena left. Mion laughed bitterly and said, "Why does everyone want us to be the bad guys so much?" But she understood the situation. It'd be easier if we really did act like the bad guys. Might be better if we tied her down and took her to the hospital. If it comes to that, I guess we'll have no choice. But I want to believe in her. Till the last second. She still has a strong heart to trust me no matter how badly she was driven into a corner. She's not like me. So I'm sure she can defeat her delusion. It's hard for this old man to understand what you and Rika-chan were talking about these days. Did anything serious happen lately? You could consider it happened lately in a way. I killed Mion a couple days after the festival. Sorry, I've been talking crazy lately. Anyway, please don't lose confidence in Rena, alright? You know I won't. Anyone can catch a cold of the heart sometimes. It just happened to Rena this time, and that's all. Well, she has a relatively high fever, but I'm sure she'll get back soon, and we can laugh about this later. It's not as bad as you think, Kei-chan. That silly Oshi admitted his mistakes. He doesn't even know about you-know-what. So we just say Rena overreacted a little bit, and this will be over. Really? You really think you can do that? Did you forget that I'm next in the head of the Sonozaki family? I have both the skill and the power to do that. Bitches! This old man had a meeting with Oshi at a restaurant today. We cleared it all up to misunderstandings. Oshi was shaking with fear the whole time. Hey, I'm pretty good, don't you think? Mion bragged about her achievement, laughing loudly. I could tell she was exaggerating a little bit. Anyway, compared to the sense of impending doom Rena seemed to be feeling, the others seemed to be taking it rather easy. It's all up to Rena now. She understood everything. She could go back to that peaceful world she wished for. We were waiting for her to reach out to us. Just like we did by the abandoned car at that junk dump that day. Rena, I couldn't win. But I know you can. Because you're the only one who told me to have faith until the end. So I know you can win. That didn't mean that she could literally win the last battle she was talking about earlier. But Rena would win. She'd win, she regained her peaceful life. Ow! Ow! No. New tips? She's just sick right now with a picture of a band-aid. Tomorrow is the day. Oh, you mean the day we die? It's going to end up the same way this time, just like last time. I don't know about that. It's been very similar to the last one, but there's some things that were different, too. Keiichi remembered what happened. That's impossible. There's no way he could remember. I mean, there's no way he could know. The more you say it, it's absolutely impossible, the more it makes me feel like this is a real miracle. There's nothing we can do. It's going to end up the same way again. I'm not sure about that. Yes, it will. Everything will be over. And the Higurashi cry. Is it all going to end anyway? The more often you throw a die, the closer the total you'll get to the average. When you throw a die 100 times, even if a miracle happens and you get 6 twice or 3 times in a row, the total will average out in the end. It's a fact of statistics. When you throw a die 100 times, the total number ranges from 100 to 600. The more you throw, the greater likelihood that the number will converge on the average. But the truth is, the more you throw, the more possible outcomes you create. There are 500 different futures you can create from throwing a dice 100 times. There are 5,000 different futures you can create from throwing a dice 1,000 times. There might be one future among them that enables you to finish this never-ending game of dice. Keiichi showed me a miracle, and it taught me that it was not a waste of effort to keep throwing the die. Don't give in to something like an average. You think we'll never have a different ending, do you? Don't you? I can tell because it's written all over your face. I think so too. I think we're going to have the same ending this time again. But I'm not going to give up hope until I throw the die for the last time. Keiichi taught me that. Something is going to be different this time. I'll try to believe in that. Rika, you're a very strong person. Yeah, I know. It's because I'm a lot younger than you. Rika, why are you still awake? It's no good if you're staying up so late. I'm sorry. I couldn't sleep, so I was just looking at the stars. I'm going to bed now. Please do. Good night, Rika. Good night, Sadako. Next chapter, here we go! Locking up with only Mion at school made me miss Rena a lot. What's wrong, Kei-chan? Why are you looking around? What? Oh, nothing. It was the same old path to school, but I felt nervous for some reason. I wonder what Rena meant when she said she was going to win a come-from-behind victory last night. I couldn't stop feeling like something dangerous was going to happen. Rena thought Mion was one of her enemies. She couldn't be lying in its wait to attack Mion with a knife. Don't worry. Rena isn't going to do something as rash as that. Even if she does, I can protect myself. Mion said it brightly as if trying to tell me she wasn't afraid of anything. But I couldn't be optimistic like her because I knew exactly what Rena was going through. Rena must be determined by now. She probably wouldn't mind dying fighting against Mion if she wasn't going to win anyway. Of course, that didn't mean she wasn't going to take it. That didn't mean she was definitely going to take a violent action, but I couldn't deny the possibility either. This old man is just more concerned for the reason why Rena went crazy all of a sudden. Was there any reason? I remembered the tragedy. I couldn't remember what made the world go crazy. But I remembered that we got lost in that awful, scary world. It started with small things, and those small things started to continue to pile up, one after another. If you thought about it calmly, you'd laugh, because it was really a stupid thing. But only those little, tiny, stupid things started to bother you. You couldn't ignore them. It was that kind of disease, if you could call it one. But there must have been a reason. There must have been a reason that made that world go crazy. But it must be such a small thing you couldn't even notice. And unfortunately, the reason was very difficult to understand. And you wouldn't be able to figure it out until you died. I have a relative who is a doctor. He said that if you have a tumor in specific parts of your brain, it can change your personality. Make you a totally different person. People who suffer from this disease could be considered haunted by devils or possessed by foxes. People dramatized it like it was something occult. You mean Rena is suffering from a physical disease in her brain? In her case, it might be better to say it was a mental disease. Rena was upset and mentally unstable because of the murder of Rina and Teppei. At a time like that stupid Oshi told her about what happened to Tomotake-san in an exaggerated way. I think Oshi-san and Takano's scrapbooks have many things in common. Really? Like what? Well, he believes in the series of mysterious deaths of Hinamizawa, but that's a delusion, isn't it? I mean, something actually did happen for 5 years in a row, but I think it's no series of murders in the first place. It was true that the mysterious incidents happened 5 years in a row, but they were each solved individually. Same as past that you didn't need to talk about. We thought about them as a series of mysterious deaths, which is why we thought something was going to happen this year, too. Led us to think that there was a conspiracy, and that the Sonozaki family was behind it. We connected things to the series of deaths, but we shouldn't have done that in the first place. Just as I was trying to keep my distance from Rena when I found out about her dark past. Wasn't everybody trying to keep their distance from the dark past of Hinamizawa? Yeah. Takano-san's scrapbooks are a good example. She dramatized both recent incidents and old cruel history. She made feasible stories out of them, saying that the Sonozaki family was behind it all. Oshi-san did the same thing too. He was so convinced that the Sonozaki family was behind it all that it was making him interpret things the wrong way. In that sense, we could say that Oshi-san believed the same delusion as Rena. I think the Sonozaki family is partially accountable for that, because you guys act like you're behind it every time something happens. In this village, people think it's the doing of the Sonozaki family whenever something strange happens. It's like a magical word that makes everything settle down. It's like those people who can say that they can explain the phenomena in the world with plasma. Oh, what's that supposed to mean? Are you saying all of this is the Sonozaki family's fault? Exactly, it's all your fault. So I'll call you Plasma Mion from now on. Kinda sounds like a wrestler's name. Well, I like professional wrestlers. Hey, Kei-chan, do you know what abdominal stretching is? Uh-oh. Stop! I don't want to wrestle with you in this freaking hot weather! No, that hurts! Ah! Oh god, abdominal stretching. Oh no, that's painful. That hurts the stomach, my broskies. Good morning, Kate-san. Good morning. Satoko and Rika-chan looked a little sad when they saw only the two of us. If the three of us came to school together like always, they would have been really happy. But our classmates were as noisy as usual. Nobody seemed to take a big deal about Rena's absence. Chie-sensei was going to be here soon, and she'd start morning homeroom. Everyone was fooling around as if they didn't want to miss a second of the time until then. Hey, something stinks today! Close the windows! Silly, it's hotter in here if we do that! It smelled like gasoline or something. And it really stank. Someone from the forestry service must have been putting gasoline in the construction equipment or something. Some students near the windows were making a fuss because they wanted to close the windows to shut out the smell. Our school wasn't a normal school compared to others. We were using a part of the forestry service building. Unusual things like this happen sometimes. This is nothing. I remember they once brought a huge pile of juniper branches. That shit stank. It was awful. It had this distinct, irritating odor that gave us all headaches. Juniper branches do that. What's a juniper? Meep. That's the name of a vegetable. We sometimes put it in curry. You should look for it next time you go to a grocery store. Huh? I know little about vegetables, but it sounds like it would be better to make Rika or Kate-san taste it first, just in case. What? Our ball is missing! You hid it again, didn't you, Hojo? The boys seemed to be looking for their ball for a while, and then they yelled at Sadako. What? Why would I hide such a stupid thing? If I was going to hide anything, I'd hide something better than that. Hey, Chie-sensei's coming! Everyone take a seat. Hello, everyone. Get to your seats. I kept thinking about Rena the whole time during class. I thought about what she said last night. I wondered what her come-from-behind victory means. According to Takano-san's delusions, the masterminds behind the bioterrorisms were the three families and a group of financial believers that controlled those three. In other words, the Sonozaki family. What could Rena do alone against them? Mion lived with her grandmother, the leader of the Sonozaki family. There was only two of them in the house. It's possible that Rena would try to break into their house with a knife. But I'd already come up with that possibility last night. That's why I called Mion and warned her. On the way to school this morning, Mion told me some bodyguards from the corps had been at her house since this morning. She told me she'd be guarded herself, too. There's a black car parked near the school gates. They must have been the bodyguards. But, according to Takano-san's parasite theory, the battle wouldn't end just by attacking the leader of the Sonozaki family. According to the delusion that she believes in, the conditions of her victory were more complicated than that. She needed to expose the group of fanatics who were behind the Sonozaki family, and she needed to destroy their research on the parasite. Plus, Rena didn't have much time left, thanks to that suspicious poison she mentioned. But how exactly would she win a come-from-behind victory under circumstances like that? I can take a guess! She might interpret that the town council, are the group of fanatics, so she might attack them the next time that they have a meeting at the shrine. The town council meets once a month at most. It'd be hard to believe that they were holding a meeting today. She probably thought the place researching the parasite is the EDA clinic. Rena suspected that there was something fishy about the clinic from the beginning, and that suspicion must change to certainty in her head by now. Did that mean that she was going to attack the clinic? That wasn't like an action movie. What would she do by all herself? Was she going to start a fire? No, that would be pointless. In order to expose the conspiracy, she'd have to get proof that she was actually studying the parasite. Was she going to break into the clinic and get questionably weird samples? The last problem involves how much time she had left. She believed she didn't have much time left, especially under desperate, disadvantageous conditions. She might try to stab whoever she thought was an enemy. But Rena sounded like she really believed she would gain her happy and peaceful days after everything was over. Rena probably meant that she was going to stay alive and win. Was there something like that, like an antidote? It didn't have to be real. As long as it was an antidote to Rena's delusion, it didn't matter what it was. It could even be the water you washed your vegetables with. But if she thought she could get the antidote so easily, she wouldn't have been so desperate about the time she had left. The antidote must be difficult for her to get. The easiest place for that in her delusion was that it was hidden somewhere in the clinic. Putting it all together like that, I felt like EDA and his clinic were in danger. Now that I thought about it, the elderly people in the village, including the members of the town council, hung out in the waiting room of the clinic all the time. Most of the board members having to gather there for her, that'd be a perfect place to attack. I told Mion about that during lunch break. If this were a normal situation, I'd say she wouldn't do such a stupid thing, but I can't actually deny the possibility. I'm going to call my house. I'll make sure that they send some people to the clinic. Mion didn't object to my crazy idea. She put down her chopsticks and went to the teacher's office to make a phone call. It sounds so dangerous. I can hardly believe Renaissance going to do such a scary thing. Are you sure she's going to attack the clinic? Maybe she will. Maybe she won't. But if that happens, we're screwed. We need to prevent that disaster from happening. I hope nothing happens at all. Okay, I'll send 2 of our subordinates to the clinic. I don't think she'll do it, but you'll never know what's going to happen. Can we capture her by force if she does? Honestly, I don't want to do that. What do you think we should do? We made an agreement with the cops that we'd give Venerable to them after we find her. So even if we use force to capture her, we won't get in trouble. I'm not worried about losing face, I just feel sorry for Rena. I only want to settle this calmly if possible. Well, she's still young. As long as she didn't kill somebody or something, all she has to do is apologize and everything will be fine. Ha 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 ha. Well then, she might be out of our hands. Oh, I mean, you know, as long as they don't find out about it, she'll be safe. She'll definitely be safe. We're not gonna tell about the fucking no one cares that they're dead. Yeah, I like how it's just like, people think that they ran away because they did something wrong anyways, so, you know, who fucking cares? Those things happen all the time, so she's fine, don't worry about it. She's out, she's safe. What, are we playing baseball now? Anyway, please just be careful. Will do. So, it's okay to capture her by force, right? Fucking don't make any mistakes, you have to get her. Please don't make it like a chase scene or anything like that. I couldn't help but to have a silly chat with Kasai-san. When I put the phone down, I sensed Chie-sensei was looking at me. No wonder, as she had been hear the entire conversation clearly in this tiny room. Chie-sensei put her spoon down with a sad look on her face and asked the following. Were you talking about Ryugu-san? Yes. Sonosaki-san! Do you know why Ryugu-san ran away from home? You're close, aren't you? It was hard for anyone to understand Rena's situation except for me and Kei-chan. So most of them thought Rena just ran away from home, and not that she was fucking batshit crazy, because she's gone fucking mad. But after she did, the cops made too much of a fuss over it. Oshio stupidly believed the scrapbooks were a big scoop, and he had overreacted in trying to find Rena. He had patrol cars running around everywhere in the village, and he even used the town council's phone dictionary to find her. So people in the village thought Rena did something wrong and were trying to run from the cops. What was going to be difficult for me, more than finding her, was to make up a story to retrieve Rena's honor after they detained her. What about this? Rena went for a walk, fell down, hit her head on the edge of some tofu, and lost her memory. She misunderstood something big time, and he thought she was a criminal. Yeah, it was too easy. Anyway, can you lose your memory on hitting your head on the side of some tofu? I mean, I know hard tofu's a thing, but, Anyway, we did make it clear that Oshi was the one who misunderstood everything at the meeting of the other day. I had to make the best use of his name while he was feeling down in the dumps. What I'd have to do was not to make such a big deal about the situation, and to create an environment that allowed Rena to forget everything that happened in order to get her life back together as soon as possible. Everything's going to be fine, Chie-sensei. Rena is a little sick right now, that's all. A fat cop somehow made a lovely mistake and got things twisted around. You don't believe that Rena did something wrong and that she's trying to run from the police, do you? Of course not. But making her family worrying about running away from home isn't a good thing to do either. She had a fight with her father. She ran away from home for a little while. She acted childish, and that's all. Maybe that'd be the best story to go with. I wonder if she had some problems she couldn't talk to anybody about. I must be a bad teacher because I never realized it. I wish I could have sat down and talked with Ryugi-san before all this happened. Chie-sensei, you're taking it too seriously. You need to relax. It's normal for young kids nowadays to run away from home for a while. No, it's not, but okay, Mion, whatever you say. Oh no! What am I gonna do for Ryugi-san because one of those bad kids that starts doing really bad things, like drugs, like the weed, and a crack. I imagine Chie-sensei being like one of those really like trying to be hip teachers and just failing miserably. Like, she'll talk about curry all day every day and be fine about it, but she fucking can't understand like drugs. Renaissance becomes a bad kid. She does something bad and gets arrested by the police. It's her teacher's responsibility. I'll be dishonorably discharged. I can't eat curry anymore. What's the bottom one? I can't see the bottom one. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. Chie-sensei, calm down. Oh no, oh no! Chie-sensei seems comically upset by her own imagination. It looks funny, so I decided to leave her alone. I made to leave the teacher's office to go back to the classroom, but right then the phone rang. Hello, this is Hinamizawa Branch School. Chie-sensei had to answer the phone all day today because the principal was on a business trip. I exited the hallway, and I heard the tone of her voice change. What? Where are you right now? What? I yelled and looked back at her. It's probably Rena. She called the school. I tried to go back inside the teacher's office, but Chie-sensei gestured me not to come in. Chie-sensei acknowledged what Rena was saying several times, and then she looked at the clock. Okay, I'll be there. I'm your teacher, you promised me, all right? She said only that and put the phone down and got her purse out of her locker. Class president, I have an emergency to take care of. I'm going out for a while, so please have everybody study by themselves while I'm gone. She took her car key out from her purse. It was obvious that she was going to see Rena somewhere. Chie-sensei, was it Rena? That's all. You're in charge of class, okay? Chie-sensei! Chie-sensei completely ignored me and ran out into the hallway. She ran to the schoolyard and got into her car. The moment her car left the gate, I ran out in the schoolyard myself. I headed for the black car parked near the gate and knocked on the window. How are you doing, milady? Everything is quiet so far. I know, but I need you to follow that car that just left. I think she's going to meet Rena. Understood. Rena's very paranoid, so you need to be careful. Bring her to my house right after you catch her. After that, follow Kasai's orders. She's my friend. You better not get her hurt. Rena must have told Chie-sensei that she wanted to talk to her alone. I could tell that easily from the way she ignored my question. I did feel a little bit bad for ruining their promise, but it was very important that we caught her before she did something wrong. We could still make up an excuse that she was just wandering around because she had a fight with her father and ran away from home. But if she set fire to the clinic or something, there would be nothing we could do. The car made a rough U-turn on the gravel road and chased after Chie-sensei's car at full speed. I watched the car until it was gone. All I could do now was pray that this would be settled calmly. Hey, pay attention, everyone! Well, we need to study by ourselves for the rest of class today. So, get back to your desk and study quietly. Self-studying? Mion ran up to me and spoke quietly. Rena just called. What? Really? Yeah, she just called the teacher's office. I think Chie-sensei went to meet with Rena. Wonder what she's doing right now. I have no idea. Anyway, I told my bodyguards to follow Chie-sensei's car. I feel bad for Rena, but we're going to capture her there by force. I hope it works. They're used to doing this kind of stuff. I'm sure they'll do fine. So if they catch her, is everything going to be over? Yeah. We'll send her to a hospital. If a doctor sees her, I'm sure he'll find a typical kind of disease or something. It'll be kind of like obsessive psychosomatic disorder or something. They were spending her afternoon studying peacefully. The members of the Sonozaki family would capture Rena, who were waiting for Chie-sensei somewhere. The problem would be solved. It wasn't going to be easy after that, but I was sure Mion would take good care of her. And in the end, everyone would understand that Rena just ran away from home because of a silly fight with her father. A happy ending. Problem solved, right? Mion winked at me. She looked like she'd already thought everything was over. That just didn't sound right to me. I couldn't see any connection between Rena and Chie-sensei. It's hard to explain, but there was something wrong. I wasn't saying that they didn't get along. Rena was a good student, so Chie-sensei had a good relationship with her. But I just didn't understand why Rena went from Chie-sensei. While I was thinking about it, the door opened, and one of my classmates came from the bathroom with Rena. Rena!
Everybody stand up. Move to the center of the room.
Everybody gasped in surprise. Even Chie-sensei couldn't make everyone go quiet all of a sudden. Rena was gripping the shoulder of a student who came back from the bathroom. In her other hand was a big, scary-looking hatchet. It was the same one she had the other day. Everyone immediately understood that Rena had taken a hostage.
Are you all deaf? Move to the center of the room. Push the desks to the side.
Nobody grasped at what she was asking us to do. We all froze. Rena was the only one who was smiling. It was terrifying.
Ni-chan, you're the class president. Tell everyone to move to the center.
Rena, what are you doing? A loud noise washed out Mion's voice. Rena hit the teacher's desk really hard with her hatchet. She pulled out the hatchet, making an almost ripping noise. There was now a line of violence carved plainly into the desk. Oh, she broke it. Chie-sensei's gonna get mad when she comes back. No, that wasn't it. What the hell?
I knew I couldn't trust you, Mi-chan. I'm going to ask Keiichi-kun then. You're my only friend, right, Keiichi-kun? So I can trust you, can't I?
Rena, your eyes, you look really scary. I've never seen eyes like that in my life. Your eyes are full of insanity. Why are people afraid of insanity? Insanity means the person doesn't share the same values and same common sense as us. For example, say a thief breaks into your house and he ties you up. You're getting scared and wondering if he's going to stab you before he leaves. But you hope that the thief has feeling too, and he's not going to kill you for no reason. No matter how bad the person is, we tend to believe that his goodwill, as long as we share the same values, the same common sense, the same morals as him. But we can't expect goodwill from someone who doesn't have those things. We can't expect goodwill from a person who can't communicate with us. When a burglar has a knife and you beg him not to hurt you, you expect him to listen to you and show you mercy. In other words, you can still communicate with him. But if he doesn't have the ability to communicate, he's just like a monster that's trying to attack you, or like the blade of a guillotine that's falling down on you. You fear him because you can't communicate with him. That's sanity. It was the same fear we had feeling towards Rena at the very moment. She looked like a human just like us, but there's no room for her to communicate with us like a normal person could. Everybody understood that fear instinctively.
Keiichi-kun, make them move the desks to make room in the middle.
Okay. Everyone, let's do as Rena says. Rena was like a barrel of gunpowder at that moment. She seemed really calm and quiet, but she could explode at any moment. When she did, I doubt she'd show us any mercy. She probably wouldn't hesitate to use that hatchet on us. That's right. Just like how I didn't feel guilty and hesitate to kill Rena and Mion. Everybody went all quiet while pushing the desks against the wall to make space for what I wanted. Rena, saying that we were moving too slow, hit the blackboard with the hatchet, making a horrible noise. Every time she did that, she left an equally horrible scar on the blackboard, the thing that we looked at most in school.
Keiichi-kun, can you get the jump ropes out of the lockers? Use them to tie our classmates up.
I'm not good at tying knots. I probably can't tie them up very well.
I'll check one by one if you tie them if you've tied them well enough. If I find the roofs, I'll kill the person, so you better tie them very well.
We were still kids. We saw the word kill all the time. It's used a lot in comic books and cartoons, after all. So normally you'd assume we'd be used to the word hearing kill. But Ren said kill us. It sounds so frightening. I'd never heard something like that before in my life. To Ren, our lives were like cards that she could use for negotiation. She'd get rid of one card, and every time someone refused her request, get rid of. Damn it, why did we have to use such scary words like get rid of for simple things like playing cards? Anyway, there were about 20 students in the class. A little too many for Rena to handle. She might get rid of 2 or 3 just to set an example. I decided to do what Rena said because I didn't want her to lose her temper. Got out everybody's jump ropes from their lockers.
All of you, get on the floor. Keiichi-kun, you can start tying their hands behind their backs. Tie them really tightly. You're on my side, aren't you? You won't tie them loosely on purpose, would you?
Mion tried to make eye contact with me.
If everybody was tied down, they wouldn't be able to stop her from occupying the school. There's really no more than 20 students in this class. Half of them were boys, but most of them were smaller than Rena. There's enough people here to overpower her. But if we did that, Rena would probably hit her hostage with the hatchet. She'd use the hatchet to attack the rest of us without hesitation. It'd be a bloody battle. Sure, somebody would get hurt if we tried to overpower her. The hostage would be seriously injured, or maybe even die. If that happened, it was over. No matter how hard we tried to cover up, she'd never be able to live peacefully like before. Neon seemed to understand that too. I could tell from Rena's eyes that she wasn't going to go easy on us. If someone showed defiance, she'd break the hostage's head open immediately. Of course, Rena had done that before. She'd probably do it again with no hesitation. But as long as we did what she said, we could prevent that bloody tragedy. If we could somehow solve the solution without shedding any blood with Mion's influence, we might be able to pretend that this had never happened. At least, we had to make sure she didn't kill anyone. Let's do as Rena says, Kei-chan. Mion tried to think of a way to overpower Rena, but she couldn't come up with any good ideas to save the hostage. It's how easy it would be for Rena to kill them. The best thing to do at the time was to wait for the chance without agitating her further. Mion lay down on the floor, and everyone else followed suit, sluggish with terror. And I was left alone, standing rooted to the spot with the jump ropes in my hand. All my classmates were lying face down on the floor, while Rena was pointing the hatchet at the hostage, watching our every move from behind the teacher's desk. I just stood frozen in the middle of it all. Kate-kun, there are many things I want you to help me with, so hurry up. If you take too long, some of them might have to die. Some of the little kids started crying when they heard the word die. It's all right, everyone. Kate-kun will save you, so no one's going to die. Damn it. What a bold threat. She said I was her friend, but she's just playing with the meaning of the word. I was the last person who could still fight against Rena under these circumstances, but it wasn't going to be easy to overpower her by myself. I wasn't sure if I could do that. Even if I tried to act tough, once Rena pointed the hatchet at somebody's neck, it was over. I shouldn't fight against her for now. I should wait for a chance. As long as Rena was alone, there would be a chance. She made me tie them up because she couldn't do that by herself. There was a limit to what she could do because she was by herself. If we could cover this up somehow before Chie-sensei came back, we'd still be able to pretend like we were kidding around. I finally realized something. I realized why Rena called Chie-sensei to meet with her. In order for Rena to take over the classroom, she needed to get rid of Chie-sensei. Chie-sensei had a strong sense of justice. Even if Rena had a gun, she wouldn't hesitate to overpower her. She's the kind of teacher who'd risk her life for her students. Rena needed to figure out how to get rid of Chie-sensei. That was the key to her plan. Rena probably thought that attacking her from behind at first, but there was a risk there, as Chie-sensei was a grown-up woman. She probably thought that attacking her directly wasn't a wise choice. So naturally, the next option was to lure her out somewhere. Rena called Chie-sensei and told her that she wanted to talk to her in private, in order to lure her out someplace far away from here. Most people, including Chie-sensei, thought Rena was just running away from home. So Chie-sensei must have thought Rena had some problems that she wanted to talk to her about. It was too easy to deceive her. Where did she make the phone call from? She probably used the phone in the school. Well, not in school, to be exact. She probably used the phone on the second floor of the school, the one belonging to the forestry service. The school was using part of the forestry service building, but this particular location was more of an office branch, so it's not like somebody was here all the time. Rena knew that, and she had probably been hiding there for a while. She called the phone on the first floor from the second floor, and she made Chie-sensei leave the school. I didn't think it was a coincidence that the principal was on a business trip today. She probably snuck into the school yesterday. She saw the principal's schedule, learned how to call the phone on the first floor from the second, and carried out her plan. She planned it perfectly. Yeah, I knew it. Rena was insane, but I knew that she was also actually really calm. She was possessed by her delusion, but she was also unbelievably calm about it, so she could still think fast. I knew that very well, because I had been through the same thing before. What was worse is that Mion's bodyguards were gone. Mion told them to follow Chie-sensei because she thought Chie-sensei was going to meet with Rena. Damn it, everything seemed to be working out in her favor. I'm done. I tied the last person and looked at Rena's direction. If I didn't tie them really tightly, Rena would kill them. But when I tied them too tightly, they suffered in pain. Their pained cries made me feel uneasy. It made me feel useless. Thank you, Kate-kun. I don't mean to doubt you, Kate-kun, but I have to make sure just in case. Please put your hands on your head and lie face down on the floor. And I'm saying this to everybody. If you stand up without my permission, I'll kill you. I'll kill whoever stands up and one more person randomly to set an example. It's not nice to be chosen randomly, huh? Oh, that's a good idea. I'll kill the person who didn't listen to me, add 10 to his or her student number, and kill the person too. For example, let's say Okamura didn't listen to me. I'd kill him and Watanabe-kun, because his student number is 11. Get it? I'll always be killing 2 of you at the same time. You'd better remember that you involve another person's life besides your own when you attempt to stand against me. How awful. She totally understood how to threaten people. Normally you stand against an attacker on your own risk. If you fail, you're going to die. But if you're responsible for someone else, then you couldn't try to resist. You couldn't risk somebody's life with your own decisions. Okay, everyone is tied up nice and tight. You said you weren't good at tying knots, but you did very well, Cage-kun. You should be proud of yourself. Well, you can stand up now. It was too late to fight back. I followed her orders. I just had to wait for a chance. I could still turn this into some kind of bad joke. I had to do something. Anyway, what were you planning to do, Rena? Don't tell me this is a come-from-behind victory you're talking about. Uh-oh. I got a bad feeling about this. It's a bad, bad feeling. It's a bad feeling in my gut. That bad feeling's gonna have to wait a second, because I gotta get some water. I need to get some water. So I'm gonna be right back for a second, because my throat is parched. It's hard to read a lot of lines, especially when I have to do Rena's voice. Because Rena's voice is a lot harder than my regular voice, because it's a lot higher pitched. Alright, let's try this again with more reading. This time serious like whatever. Yeah. This is Okiyamiya SP to all vehicles. Okiyamiya SP to all vehicles. A hostage situation has broken out at the Hinamizawa Forestry Service Building. There are reportedly multiple hostages. All vehicles are to head to the Forestry Service Building immediately. Uh-oh. Kuma-chan! Sorry I'm late. What's going on? Hello, sir. Today, about 1 p.m., the Hinamizawa Branch School's classroom was taken over. All 25 students have been taken hostage. The suspect's initial demands were to prohibit any entry of the branch school's property and to secure a hotline to us. So they're willing to negotiate with us from the start. What's going on? Also, the suspect is asking for you, Oshi-san. It's Reina Ryugu. Ryugu-san? Very well. We seem to be inseparable, huh? I'll be dealing with her until the end. Oshi-san gave a crooked smile. We don't know if she has any accomplices. The curtains are closed, so we can't confirm the situation. Have you asked whoever told us about this? No, Reina Ryugu declared it herself. Therefore, we don't know what's going on inside. Their teacher received a call from Reina Ryugu as she left the classroom before the incident took place. This has been well planned, huh? Has anyone from the forestry service been taken hostage? Nobody from the service is there today. All 25 hostages are students. The number matches with the attendance the school teacher took this morning. Plus the suspect, right? Have you seen anyone else suspicious other than Reina Ryugu? No, we've seen someone peeking out from behind the curtain, but it was the suspect herself. We're guessing that there must be at least 1 or 2 more of them, though. Well, maybe she really is doing it by herself. Reina Ryugu was a true believer in Mio Takano's scrapbooks. According to those scrapbooks, the entire village was Reina Ryugu's enemy. She didn't have anyone she could trust. However, Oshi also believed in Mio Takano's delusion. It's possible that someone who was influenced in the same way was following Reina Ryugu. Oshi-san, the principal and the teacher are here. Hello, Chie-sensei. Are you okay? Oshi ran up to Chie-sensei, who was crying with a handkerchief held up to her face. Reina-chan is a good girl. For her to do something like that, there must be some mistake. Don't cry, Chie-sensei. If I were to do this by the book, I'd have to ask you about Ryugu-san's recent behavior. But when it comes to Ryugu-san, I probably know better than you do. Please, don't worry. I'll take care of this as peacefully as possible. Chie-sensei was huddled over, and Oshi didn't think that he could say anything else to her. On the contrary, the principal was standing strong, trying to figure out how to take care of the situation.
Mr. Oshi, please. If possible, I would like to request to be a hostage myself. I will take the place of the children.
Let me do that instead. It's all my fault.
Sensei, stop crying. Please don't blame yourselves. I have things I want to ask you, so I appreciate if you cooperated. Bonchi-kun! Please show them the blueprints. Excuse me, sir. Section Chief Takasugi is on the radio. Of course he is. Hello, this is Oshi. Oshi-san, how goes things? Kumagai-kun informed me of the situation. The suspect is underage, huh? Please keep strict control of the press. I understand. Also, the suspect is requesting me as a negotiator. Shit, I'm skipping shit. Please keep strict control of the press. I understand. Also, they're requesting me as a negotiator. Is that okay with you? You've known Ryugu-san since the parasite incident from the other day. I bet she still thinks you're her ally. Only you could do that job. Good luck. Nah, I really don't want to. But since I've caused so much trouble, I guess I'll have to do this to make up for it. Oshi-san! Rena Ryugu is on the car phone. That's faster than expected. I'll go get it. Thank you. Hello, this is Oshi.
Oshi-san, this is Ryugu.
God, that's bright red! Hello, this is Oshi.
Is the signal weak on your car phone? That's kind of hard to hear.
Nah, just like me, it's getting old.
Oshi and I exchanged a few friendly words. A long cord trailed through the hallway from the teacher's office. The cord extended further to the phone on the podium in the classroom. Let's get down to business. I'll check to see if you're qualified to negotiate for me.
Okay, shoot.
You are my ally, aren't you, Oshi-san?
Of course. Let's expose the conspiracy of the Sonozaki family together, you and me.
Oshi-san answered without hesitation. Was he still my ally? Or was the sly detective just saying what I wanted to hear? Either way, I only had Oshi to depend on. If I couldn't trust him, I was stuck. There would be nothing else I could do. You didn't believe me for a while either, did you, Keiichi-kun? But you do now, right? Keiichi-kun is sitting on the floor facing away from me with his head resting in his hands. We're comrades now, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Ryugu asked Keiichi Marubara if he was her comrade, but I couldn't hear his voice. Was she trying to tell me that Keiichi Marubara was still alive, or that he was being forced to obey her because of the hostages? Maibara-san is your ally too, huh? That's nice. But weren't you suspicious of Maibara-san for a while?
Yep. When I heard about the BB gun incident, I couldn't believe it. But we can't let the past fool us. We have to learn from the past in order to grow.
That's very good. You're absolutely right about that.
That's why we forgave each other. So I don't doubt Keiichi-kun anymore. Keiichi-kun is my comrade.
I understand. Therefore, Keiichi-kun is my ally too, isn't he? Please say hello to him for me.
Sure, I will.
Actually, I'd like to say hello to him myself. Can he come to the phone? The conversation stopped suddenly. That made me nervous. Did I say something wrong?
Sure. Here he is. Keiichi-kun, Oshi-san wants to talk to you.
I heard some rattling and rustling on the other side of the phone. Hello? This is Maibara. It sounded monotone. Unable to disobey, Keiichi Maibara must have been pretending to follow Rena Ryugu's orders. Hello, Maibara-san. This is Oshi from the Mokia Miyazaki Police Department. Thank you for coming to the phone. Let's do this together. Yeah, let's do this together. What is Ryugu-san doing right now? She's walking around the classroom. Maibara-san, please say yes if the answer to your question is yes, and yeah if your answer is no. Do you know what Ryugu-san wants? Yeah. The answer told me for sure. Keiichi-kun wasn't Rena Ryugu's accomplice. There's no way Rena wouldn't tell her accomplice what she wanted after planning a hostage situation like this. How would he help someone who didn't even tell him what she wanted? I'll ask you directly. Are you Rena Ryugu's ally? No, let me change my question. Are you being threatened by Rena Ryugu? Yes. There you go. The other guys in the car is listening to our conversation raises their fists in victory. Is Rena Ryugu the only suspect? Yes. If she was the only suspect, then we could respond appropriately. I guess nobody else believed in talking to scrapbooks. So my being fooled is even more embarrassing. As I thought about my next question, I heard the phone being taken away from Keiichi. Then it came back on the line.
See? Keiichi-kun is my ally, isn't he?
Yes, you were right. That was very promising.
Okay, now it's your turn to talk, Oshi-san. How are the simultaneous raids on the Sonozaki family going? Remember? You promised me that we'd talk about it on the phone before. Have you found the secret research facility yet?
I had to decide on what to say. Should I tell her we conducted the raids or not? Maybe she already knew we didn't raid. Maybe she was just testing me. We're trying to come up with a plan for the simultaneous raids as we speak. We're talking to the prefectural police as well as the public safety division. We've talked about the entire city, so we need a little more time to prepare for it.
You're taking too long! Oshi-san, don't you realize what kind of emergency situation Shishibono City is in right now? What are you doing? Oshi-san, you do believe me, don't you? You're my ally, right? Right? Please answer me.
Of course I am. But the police department is a little more complicated than you think. I'm doing my best, I really am. The thing is, it's on a really big scale.
Oshi-san, they poisoned me recently. With the parasites that killed Toмотake-san. They poisoned me with them. I've been itching like crazy since yesterday. I'm all bloody from scratching at my throat. I might claw out my throat and die at any moment, and you're telling me you're still preparing? I knew it. Oshi didn't realize how dire the situation was. He understood there was some kind of conspiracy in Hinamizawa, but he didn't realize how soon their plan was going to be executed.
Ah, God, this makes my throat all dry. I don't understand.
Besides, I was already feeling itchy all over my body and was bound to soon die the same way as Toмотake-san.
I'm sorry, I really am doing my best. But everybody asks me if I have proof.
Proof? Do you need proof? Mio-san scrapbooks. Maybe that's what I needed to convince the police. I was afraid someone would destroy the evidence if I handed it over to Oshi-san, so I kept them with me. But I didn't have much longer to live. I might not even make it until tomorrow morning. That's right, I might be dead before tomorrow. I would die tonight. Okay, I'll give you Mio-san scrapbooks. Please use them to convince the other policemen.
Ah, that should help. Please, do give me the scrapbooks. I looked through my backpack, which is lying by my feet. Mio-san scrapbooks were in there.
This is our last resort. Oshi-san, do your best. No, you must take care of it, please.
Of course. Trust me. I'll expose this conspiracy.
I knew the police would take too long to get things moving. They're an organization, after all. That's why I'm doing this, to make them understand. You have an excuse now. Please use this chance wisely.
Thank you. You can count on me. So how should we do this? Do you want me to come get it? I knew she wouldn't let me into the classroom. She was still cautious. I could guess where Rena Ryugu was going to take this thing, so I tried to stay ahead of her. I handed a memo from my instructions to a colleague.
I can't really leave the classroom, so I'll have Keiichi-kun deliver them to you.
Maybe that's better. If you left the building, something might happen.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm sure the Sonozaki family already knows what's going on in here. I'm sure they didn't expect you to do something like this, so they might come to shut you up.
Shut me up? Do you mean...
By shooting you. A hitman from the Sonozaki family might try to put a stop to this by sniping you. That's why you shouldn't come outside. Don't even go near the windows. I saw you peeking out a window, but you shouldn't do that. They may fire at any time.
Wait a minute! Aren't there policemen around? Can't you stop that from happening?
We would if we could, but it's so open around here. A well-trained sniper could easily shoot as far as 400 meters. As you know, attack units from the Sonozaki family have gone through military training, and they specialize in assassination techniques. Don't underestimate them. I need you to help me expose the conspiracy of the Sonozaki family.
I understand. Thank you for your warning. Even if my life is to end tomorrow, I can't die now.
That's right. Under no circumstance should you peek out the windows, okay? Be very careful. Burp. The phone conversation ended. Then Ryugu was going to let Keiichi Marubara deliver the scrapbooks. Did you get what I wrote on the memo already? Yes, I've got it. Do you think it'll work? I scared her, so I don't think she'll peek out the windows. I'm sure she'll still have her eyes open, though. I'll work around it. I roughly understood what was going on from the phone conversation.
Okay, Keiichi-kun. Here are the scrapbooks. Their contents are very important. They're proof of the Sonozaki family's conspiracy, and the police can use these as evidence to conduct a raid. Please take this to Oshi-san, okay? And when you give it to him, come right back. I'm watching you. If you do something you aren't supposed to, I'll be very angry.
Then I took out a couple of old scrapbooks from her backpack and gave them to me. Then she cast a sidelong glance at Mion.
I'll tell you about these later, Mi-chan. I'll tell you all about what a scary conspiracy your family is planning. Or maybe you already know, huh? Anyway, go on, Keiichi-kun. Just go halfway out into the schoolyard. Don't say anything. You're just delivering the scrapbooks. Don't talk, okay? If you do. If it was Chie-sensei, she'd slap you with a ruler, but, what should I use instead?
All right. I won't even say a word. Come on, put the hatchet down. I'm your ally, right? Trust me, okay?
Yeah, you're right. I trust you. So please don't betray me, okay?
Rena's eyes were telling me clearly. They were telling me she didn't trust me. But even in this state, she also knew she couldn't distrust her friends. Therefore, although she couldn't trust me, she was pretending to. That's why she didn't tie me up. Okay, I'll be going. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I walked past my friends who were lying on the floor and headed to the exit. I saw some of their faces as I passed. Some were fearful. Some were sure that I used the opportunity to run. And some were scared that they'd die if I did. Don't worry, guys. I won't let her even touch any of you. If Renna tries to do something, I'll stop her even if I have to risk my own life. Anyway, I'll do whatever it took to ensure that nobody died. I had to make sure Renna didn't get angry. I'll just wait for the right moment. I went down to the school entrance and changed my shoes, and then unlocked that door and stepped outside. I felt the fresh air on my skin. I saw the lights from the outside from the police cars. I could feel the policemen looking at me. As soon as I was in the schoolyard, a little voice tried to tempt me. I was free from Renna now. If I ran off the school grounds, I'd be free. What was I thinking? If I did something like that, Renna would go crazy, and who knows what else she'd do. The important thing here wasn't my safety. It was to make sure Renna didn't kill anybody. I saw a big man coming towards me from the school gate. That was probably Oshi-san. Hi, Oshi-san. Are you Tsumihoroboshi-san? Hello, I'm Oshi from the Okiyamiya station. You called me. You can call me Kudo-chan. Sorry. Renna told me not to talk and just give these to you. So please just take them in silence. I understand. These are the scrapbooks, huh? I'll take them. I tried to hand the scrapbooks to Oshi-san, but he stepped aside a little. Huh? Confused to what he was doing, I changed my position and handed them to him again. He took them that time. At that point, Oshi-san put something under his jacket into my pocket. Don't worry. Even if Ryugu-san was watching, the building's behind you. She couldn't have seen that. Huh? What is this? I couldn't look into my pocket because I didn't want Renna to suspect anything, but whatever it was pretty heavy for its size. I have a memo for you too. On your way back to the classroom, please read it without Ryugu-san noticing. Go on now. She'll get suspicious. I just followed his directions. I was worried Renna would begin to suspect something. When I looked at the classroom, the curtains were closed. That didn't mean she wasn't peeking out through the crack. I went back to the entrance and locked the door. If Renna checked and found the door unlocked, it would cause more trouble. Renna was in the classroom. There's no way she'd come down this way. She was alone. If she left the classroom, everyone would get up and run. They couldn't run because Renna was there. But they were all waiting for their chance. The entrance then was Renna's blind spot. As I changed my shoes, I quickly removed what Oshi-san had put into my pocket. There's a radio with an earpiece? Something else that looked like a short police baton. There's also a folded piece of paper. I opened the piece of paper and saw a note with a small print. Dear Mayabara-kun, please hide the bug in your pocket. It picks up even a low voice, so you can use it to get in touch with me. By using the earphone, you can hear me in return. There's also a spray for self-protection. It sprays as far as 1 meter. Make sure you aim for the face. This must be the spray. I guess it's safe to try here. I held down the button and the gas sprayed out of the nozzle. Compared to Renna's hatchet, it required some caution. It was small enough to fit inside my hand. It was reassuring that I could hide it so easily. In other words, it was now possible for me to stop Renna. As I realized all my classmates' sprays rested on my shoulders, I felt sweat form on my face. The memo continued. The spray is just for self-defensive purposes. Pepper spray only impairs eyesight, and while it makes your enemy powerless due to extreme pain and coughing for at least 30 minutes, it's not powerful enough to render them unconscious. Therefore, please do not forget that it's a possibility your enemy may fight back desperately in panic. This spray is your last resort. Please do not depend on it, but if you need to, make sure to use it. Oshi. Is he telling me to use it or not? It's probably one of those grown-up issues. The cops entrusted me solely with the fate of the hostages, and I failed, they'd be held liable. So while he gave me a weapon, he made me consider its use. I hid the bug and the spray in my pockets and went back to the classroom. I felt a little dizzy, maybe because I was nervous. I was simply following Renna's orders because I had no other choice. That's why I wasn't scared. But things were different from before. I had a weapon. I was in a far better position, but my heart was pounding. Humans are so strange. Shit, what am I going to do? What should I do, Keiichi Marabata? Did I want to fight with Renna? The memo said the spray only reaches as far as 1 meter. 1 meter? That's basically hand-to-hand battle. That meant only I had one opportunity. I didn't have a second chance. The memo also said I'd need to aim for her face. It wasn't going to be easy. Shit. Besides, Renna was cautious. How could I stand directly in front of her within 1 meter? But that's what I'd have to do if I had to have a chance of winning. Renna would do anything to reach her goal. She wouldn't even hesitate to kill, just like how I didn't. Of course, things are already extremely serious. An apology definitely wouldn't be enough. At least there hasn't been any casualties. The more time passes, the more irritated Renna would get. She might demand something again, and she might kill someone that time to show how serious she was. Things are always taking place, but tragedy has yet to occur. But it was almost here. It wasn't very far at all. When I closed my eyes, I could easily picture Rena killing one classmate after another. After I killed Rena and Mion, my room was completely covered in blood. If she killed 20 people, the classroom would be a pool of it. If that happened, Rena still wouldn't realize she was being delusional. She'd rip out her own throat and die. That'd be too big a cross for her to carry, and one day she'd remember and be saddened. She didn't need to go through that. I didn't want Rena to go through what I had to go through. Shit, I feel dizzy. It's a very long hallway. I didn't know the classroom was so far. With each step that he took, my determination to fight Rena became stronger. Rena would be shocked to realize I betrayed her. If she couldn't wake up from the nightmare on her own, somebody else would have to wake her up. And her friends needed to be the ones to do that. I'm okay, hi! Sorry, it's really hot. Welcome back, H-kun. Did Oshi-san say anything? What is the smell? As soon as I stepped in the classroom, I smelled something. Everyone had moved to one corner of the classroom. The smell reminded me of a gas station. Was it? Gasoline? I saw a red gasoline container by Rena's feet. The cap was open. It was seemingly sturdy and made of metal. It said gasoline on the side, written in felt marker. She must have spread it across the entire classroom. The smell was almost giving me a headache. No, this wasn't just a classroom. The classmates were soaked in gasoline, too. How could she? I see. It's just like a hijacker holding a bomb. If the police were to rush in, she would burn the hostages. I didn't know where she got it, but she had a lighter in her offhand. Rena, what do you think you're doing? Of course I won't actually do it. This is just insurance. I don't want to barbecue everyone either, so I hope this will just end as a joke. Rena showed off the lighter. Obviously, she was trying to threaten me. I'd heard about people committing suicide by setting themselves on fire. They poured gasoline on themselves and lighted a blaze. You might think that if it was extinguished right away, it wouldn't be that bad. But human skin is supposed to be very delicate, and it'd say that even if 30% of a person's skin gets burned, it's enough to be fatal. If it was your entire body, it would result in death for sure. I had been put in a disadvantageous position. My weapon might take Rena's sight, but I couldn't stop her from using the lighter. She'd probably use it in the moment she's attacked. I didn't know if she realized it, but the kind of lighter she would use would keep burning even until the wound was closed. Ah, God, it's one of those goddamn Zippo lighters? Oh, that's terrible. Therefore, all she had to do was light it and drop it on the floor. In other words, my spray can wouldn't make the fucking shit. My spray can wouldn't make her powerless at all. The last resort Oshi had given me had already lost all its power. Shit! What do you mean insurance? With those scrapbooks, Oshi-san is convinced the rest of the police. After that, their investigation will expose the conspiracy. Right? Do you really think those scrapbooks are enough? I know government people don't move nearly quick enough. And I was thinking that if she didn't see any progress with the scrapbooks, she'd pressure the police by letting them know about the gasoline. Let's just trust Oji-san for now. We should wait to hear from him, okay? Yeah, that's right. Okay, then let me pick up where I left off. Anyway, those parasites became heartless from the passage of time, but some people didn't like that. Those people are the three families of Hinamizawa. Therefore, they are. Then I was simply telling everyone what she heard from Takano-san. I started mumbling that I could let Oshi-san know what was going on. The smell. It's getting a whole portable tank of gasoline. I was trying to mumble to myself, so I could only say it very quietly. I wish I could say it louder, but that was probably impossible. I wasn't sure if Oshi-san could hear me. I'll have an idea to find out whether or not they could hear me. It'd be nice if I heard a car honk. Kuma-chan, honk the horn! Kuma guy honked once, quickly. Gasoline, huh? Shit! That explains the smell. I'm sure she's intending to use it to get what she wants. Kuma-chan, people usually mean an 18-liter tank when they say a portable tank of gas, right? Probably, but I'm not sure. Komiyama-kun! Is there still someone from the forestry service here? Could you get him? I see, those cans have gasoline written on them. Do plastic kerosene tanks have kerosene written on them? Yes. We don't want to mix them up. All the fuel containers have labels. Not too many people know this, but regular portable tanks don't hold gasoline. Gasoline, which is common, is extremely flammable and can be lit even with static electricity. Therefore, gasoline must be kept in special metal containers. Those are called carrying cans. So, what my bottle called gasoline is really gasoline. Is there a different size carrying can? 18 liter and 5 liter, I think. 5-liter ones are rather flat in shape, aren't they? Yes. It's red and flat with a handle. Keiichi Maebara called it a portable tank. Do you think it's the 18-liter type? Maybe he called it a portable tank because it wasn't familiar with the shape? By the way, it's really gasoline. It's really dangerous. Gasoline burns when lit. What's an even bigger threat is that liquid gasolines are the fumes. When the gasoline fumes are lit on fire, they explode. Also, gasoline evaporates easily. Even at freezing temperature, it evaporates. So in other words, inside the closed classroom, the fumes would fill the entire space. The classroom would become like a bomb itself. Kuma-chan, do you know anything about Class 4 hazardous materials? No. I know gasoline fumes are dangerous, but I don't know anything more than that. To prepare for worst case scenario, I want to find out the difference in scale between the 18-liter and the 5-liter. I know. I'll ask the old guy. Excuse me, could you call the station and see if the old guy from the forensics department is still there? Oh, I've heard what's going on. The criminal requested you, huh? Kaboom! Richi Patsuron! Nah, Radora on top of that one, too. This isn't a laughing matter anymore. Anyway, do you know about 4th class hazardous materials? 4th class, huh? If we had everyone here, we'd know everything about hazardous materials. Does the suspect spread gasoline or something? Yeah, that's exactly what's happening here. We bugged one of the hostages. Supposedly, the suspect spread gasoline throughout the classroom, but we don't know if it's from an 18-liter can or a 5-liter can. Can you tell what the worst case scenario for both of them? How big is the classroom? Let's see, approximately 5 square meters. And the room is closed, huh? More than likely. I'm sure the smell must be horrible. That's not good, Oshi. I had a feeling. The classroom will blow up. Everyone in the classroom will be dead for sure. You mean in the case of 18-liter? Fool, I'm talking about the 5-liter one! If I remember correctly, 4 liters is plenty enough to blow up an 8x8 meter room. The policeman listening to their conversation on the side went pale. 8x8 meters meant a room that was 64 square meters. Only 4 liters was needed to blow that up. And at least 5 liters was scattered in the 50 square meter room. In other words, the room has enough gasoline, huh? That's not good. I'd rather not hear this. But what would happen if it was an 18-liter can? Let's see. To put in your words, Oshi. The dealer's hand is Richi, Ifatsu, Pinfu, Tanyo, Aka Aka, and Dora Dora. What do you mean? Feimon from the dealer, 24,000 points. The base distribution is 25,000 points, so it would be one 1,000 point stick left. Something like that. There may be 1 pillar left if you're lucky. My gosh, I don't want that kind of Richi. You should call the fire department and get a chemical unit ready. You're going to need to have them deal with it after the incident is taken care of. Should have heard this through the bug. So if a fire engine shows up, the suspect will find out. I guess I'll have to get ready for when she can't see them. Yeah, that's a good idea. You mentioned a bug, didn't you? Yeah. I had a chance to come in contact with one of the hostages. I gave him a bug. That's how I found out about the gasoline. That's not good. There have been incidents where sparks from electronic devices set gasoline on fire. You know, gasoline's flash point is about 300 degrees. Even static electricity can easily cause an explosion. You've got to be kidding me! Why is such a dangerous liquid available to just about anybody? How the heck should I know? Fucking this serious situation is just like, why is everyone allowed to touch it? Fuck, how should I know? Tell that to the fire laws and automobile companies. Since it's June, the air isn't that dry, but just to be on the safe side, tell them to turn the listening device off. Oshi-san. According to what I can hear through the bug, the suspect has a lighter. That means even if Maebara-san used the pepper spray to stop her, he wouldn't be able to prevent her from igniting the gasoline. And we can't even use the bug anymore. Damn it! Fuck! Oshi, the lighter is really, really bad. Don't even let her play with it. The suspect may not know how dangerous gasoline is. From hearing how much she's spread, I don't even think she knows anything about it. Oshi's back was covered with a cold sweat. He'd never even thought this would turn into such a serious matter. He didn't know how dangerous gasoline was. He didn't know because he had never heard of cars exploding in car accidents. He knew it was dangerous, but he didn't know what it was capable of. Gasoline is a lot more dangerous once it evaporates. Therefore, a burning car in an accident and gasoline fumes get ignited at completely different times. It's quite simple to understand if you think about how car engines work. Because they work on a... yeah. Car vaporizes gasoline in the carburetor and then let it explode in the engine cylinders. In other words, the little explosions in the engine is what gives the car the power to move. Therefore, if you want more power, an engine needs to be bigger and to create bigger explosions. So, if an engine cylinder was the size of a classroom, how much power would it create? Anyone with knowledge of engines would know, but a lot of people people don't consider how dangerous evaporated gasoline is, because it's too familiar. 25 hostages and 1 hostage taker. All 26 people are basically stuck in a huge bomb. Furthermore, the suspect might actually set it off. If she were to pretend light the lighter as a threat, that would be the end. All the people around Oshi had gone pale. The classroom might explode at any moment. How could they save all the hostages? Especially when the criminal was living in her own delusion, and her request was something so unreal. Excuse me, I found a letter in the scrapbook. One of the policemen brought out a folded piece of paper. Oshi opened it while the others watched. He saw the girlish handwriting on the paper. He could tell this was written before she invaded the school. Dear Oshi-sama, if you are reading this letter, that means I am at the final stage. I must have seized the school and held the students as hostages. I am planning to appoint you as negotiator, so please pretend to be threatened by me and become my contact with the outside. The first thing I want to tell you is that my enemy is the Sonozaki family and also the aliens who are pretending to be the parasites that control the Sonozaki family. Aliens? I didn't think you'd believe me if I brought up the aliens, so I didn't tell you about them until now. But when you read these scrapbooks, you will understand. The aliens came to Earth in UFOs in ancient times. They landed on Nigaflucha Swamp. They used this village as their breeding grounds. And though the selective breeding, they widened their domain, and they were successful, and now they are trying to invade the Earth. What the heck is this? All the other policemen frowned at the letter. No, it's not surprising. I read Takano's other scrapbooks, and they were full of even stranger stories. Personally, I like the one about the OC the best. The Sonozaki family, as well as the village authorities, have been brainwashed by the aliens. The villagers' attempt to revive the cult of Oshiro-sama are actually part of the alien strategy to invade the Earth. The aliens are very clever. They won't let people realize they are being controlled. The EDA clinic must be their secret research center. Please conduct an investigation and expose their secret. Also, please check out the bottom of the swamp. UFO must still be there. Also, capture all relatives of the 3 families and take x-rays of their brains. You'll find hideous parasites inside of them. But please be careful. The aliens eliminate whoever found out about them by replacing them with hosts with a look-alike. That's how they've been able to control the village. Therefore, there may already be some aliens among the villagers. It's possible that they will try to interfere with your investigation. As a matter of fact, there have been look-alikes of Mio Takano, Bikafure, and me, Renabyugu. If you see any of those 3, capture them immediately. They will be the proof of aliens existing among us. Mio Takano? Why does she think that? I know. I told her over the phone that according to the results of the autopsy conducted in the lab over in the G Prefecture, the day of her death doesn't match up. Are you talking about the mistake on her autopsy results? I told her I didn't know why Mio Takano was witness the day of the festival when she died that night before. I never thought she'd take it like this. Maybe I joked around a little too much. It's interesting that she included herself. Did she look in a mirror or something? One of the policemen spoke up. He was one of the pair who was searching the garbage dump that night. I can understand that. Remember, the night when we went looking for Renabyugu, someone said that she was seen in Gogura. That must be it. It's probably a bluff from the villagers, and she must have heard it somewhere and assumed that it was another version of her walking around. Damn it! No, Sir Thomas, was it? This is just like that. No matter what happens to her, everything sounds like it was predetermined. Renabyugu would blame aliens if she could trip and fall down now. Or maybe she's coming up with all this crazy stuff that when she's caught, she'd use the insanity defense in court. No, that's not that. This isn't about that. She really does believe this crazy stuff. There's from the bottom of her heart. I know that for sure. She truly believes in this stupid scrapbooks. There's another letter. Let's see. P.S. I was poisoned yesterday with the same stuff that killed Tomotake-san. I have been scratching my throat since then. I'll probably have my throat called out by tomorrow morning. If you find the antidote when you investigate the EDA clinic, please bring it to me. There sure is something. Sure is something, yeah. She believes in the alien stories. Maybe she can trick her with an antidote. But you may not find the antidote, or maybe it'll be too late by the time you do. Therefore, considering the time I have left, I have set 7 p.m. tonight as the deadline. If an investigation doesn't take place and the antidote doesn't arrive by 7 p.m., I'll choose to die with all the hostages by lighting the gasoline inside. 7 p.m. What time is it now? It's a little before 6. Days are long nowadays. It doesn't get dark even in the evenings. It'll probably start to get dark around 7 p.m. Only have an hour. No one might even explode before that. Shit! What can we do? What the heck is she talking about? An alien invasion? She's trying to take the hostages with her. That's just crazy. Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. We can't negotiate with her normally now, especially when she thinks she's absolutely sane. Oshi-san, look what comes next. What? I'm planning to spread gasoline throughout the classroom. I'm sure you realize how dangerous that is. If anyone suggests storming into the room, please tell them exactly how bad an idea it would be. Also, the hostages are anchored down with U-shaped bike locks. Even if those alien policemen rushed in and killed me, they'd have to cut each lock. But if you tried cutting them, you might create sparks. Therefore, you need to completely ventilate the room first. In other words, it would take an extremely long time to rescue all the hostages from the classroom. Actually, I have a different explosive system set up other than the gasoline I spread. It's a very simple time bomb using gasoline and a kitchen timer. The kitchen timer provides electricity to a set time. I rip the tip off its plug, so it'll carry through enough sparks to ignite the gasoline. I've already set the timer to 7 p.m. Even if I'm not around, there'll be an explosion at that time. If the classroom isn't ventilated by that time, it'll explode too. I'm sorry to ask you like this, Oshi-san, but please help me so that we can avoid a tragedy. Please let the three families know that Mion Sonozaki, the successor of the head of the Sonozaki family, and Rika Furure, the mascot of the cult of Otoshiro-sama, are in this classroom. If anyone from the three families helps you, I'm sure their conspiracy will be exposed by tonight. The alien invasion is going to happen very soon. Please get going quickly. To my ally, Oshi-san. Ryugu. Oshi-san threw the scrapbooks to the ground. Damn it! How could she call me her ally? Is a kitchen timer like an alarm clock? Old appliances don't have timers. A kitchen timer is a device that turns on appliances at a given time. When you plug it in, it provides electricity to a set time, so the appliance will come on when you want it to. Oh, that's convenient. It's possible to use that to make a time bomb. Using a kitchen timer, there's sure is something a girl will come up with. Why don't we call the electricity company? Come and turn the electricity off. If there's no power, the timer can't go off. But that wouldn't work. If the classroom became dark, she'd probably light her lighter. Maybe we can give her sleeping pills as an antidote. That would take effect slowly. I'm sure she'd has to try it first. Be very careful. Understood. I'll get one ready. I need to talk to Mayabata-san one more time. I have to tell him not to let Ryugu play with the lighter. I also have to tell him to turn the bug off. How about that, by the way? Have you heard anything interesting? The suspect seems to be abusing a hostage. Shit! I think it's Mion Sonozaki. Stop it, Rena! Rena kept hitting Mion, who had her hands tied behind her back. Rena wasn't using her fist, but instead the handle of her hatchet. Keiichi-kun, you promised me you wouldn't move. If you do, I'll be angry. Rena's gaze intimidated me. Her eyes were full of madness. I could feel Rena's emotions boiling over on the inside. If I opposed her, she would easily cut Mion's arm off. What I can't forgive is you dug up the corpses and turned them into the police! I trusted you! I trusted you! Rena hit Mion's face over and over. It wasn't just Mion's hands that were tied behind her. Her neck was also tied to a window frame with a bike lock. So there was no way Mion could protect her face. I didn't know if her forehead was cut or if her nose was bleeding, but her face was covered in blood. Her blood got on the handle of the hatchet, and every time she was hit, more blood was smeared on her face. The handle of the hatchet could easily smash her forehead. Because of her positioning in the Sonozaki family, Mion couldn't say that she hit the bodies, so all she could do was endure. However, Rena continued to attack her. Rena no longer had any restraint. She might even continue until Mion's front teeth were broken. Stop it, Rena! Haven't you done enough? I'll tell you the truth, so Rena, please stop hitting her! The truth? What is it, Keiichi-kun? No, you can't. Kei-chan. Everyone, please don't listen to what I'm about to say. I may say some disturbing stuff, but isn't anything wrong, so please don't listen. Even if you hear it, forget that you did. Please. What are you going to tell me? Go on, Keiichi-kun. It's not a complicated story. That was for your sake. We found out afterward that the place you were burying the bodies was going to be clean cut this summer. So we thought we had to do something about it. And Mion hid them in a safer place. You told me the same story the other night. Didn't I tell you that's something Mi-chan made up? Why would she lie? She wanted to help her friend. Mion did it to help you. That's a lie! I won't believe it! Why would you do that without talking to me then? Why did Mion even have to tell her? Mion was trying to be delicate. Mion did her best to try and hide what Rena did. Mion knew Rena was at her wit's end, and that was why she did it in secret. But Rena didn't want to believe her. That's not so, Keiichi-kun. How contemptible of you. How contemptible, that's it. How contemptible of you, Mi-chan, to even deceive him. I won't say anything about your tricks during club activities, but this, I can't forgive you. I can't forgive you. I can't forgive you. I can't forgive you. Stop it. Don't hit Mion. Mion didn't do anything. I never knew having your hands tied behind your back was that scary. Mion got hit repeatedly with the handle of the hatchet. She could only endure. She couldn't even protect herself with her hands. Hey, is it true, Mi-chan? If so, why didn't you tell me? Can't you understand Mion's position? She has to follow certain rules as a member of the Sonozaki family. Shouldn't you be grateful for what she's done for you? I may have said it too aggressively. And it turned around and glared at me.
That's right, Keiichi-kun. Mi-chan sold me out to the police because of the circumstances surrounding the Sonozaki family. She sold out her friend. I was her friend. I really liked her. That was mean, Mi-chan! I really did like you so much, so why? How could you? Ah!
This was senseless. Rena cried as if being bullied, but she was the one doing the bullying. Normally this would be so odd as to be impossible. But I had seen this scene before. I liked you. I trusted you. As I cried, I beat her to death. Rena repeatedly begged me to trust her, and yet I beat her. I know how it is to be the one doing the beating. Stop. Stop, stop, stop. Stop, Rena! Don't you understand what you're doing? You're hurting your friend with your own hands. I understand what you're feeling. I know you're sad because your friend betrayed you, right? But that's a misunderstanding. We didn't betray you. We were thinking about you all this time. But I just couldn't see that. Even if she died, Rena probably wouldn't realize she made a terrible mistake. But someday, you'll realize. Even an insensitive guy like me realized. So Rena would realize it for sure. That's when you'd feel even sadder, Rena. You'd remember this bloody meal one day. And you'll realize that you're the one who made her bloody, and you'll regret that you did. But I was the only one who understood that, because I remembered. There's no way for Rena to understand or realize that. I wonder if I was suffering the most of all. There was no way to avoid a tragedy. This was exactly the same tragedy, with different actors. The main character was Rena instead of me, but it was the same thing. Where was I? I was in the audience now. I knew how the story ended, but I couldn't come up on the stage. Stop, Rena. Stop, stop.
Are you crying? What's wrong, Keiichi-kun?
I stood up slowly and walked towards Rena, just like what Rena did for me before with my arms open. Please stop. Stop this, Rena. You may not know why now. You don't know why you have to stop now, but if you don't, you'll regret it someday. So please stop.
Keiichi-kun, I'll be mad if you don't move back to the wall.
Rena's eyes went cold and she lifted her hatchet in her right hand. Don't, Kei-chan, I'm okay. Mion told me, but with such a bloody face, how could she? Are you going to hit me with that hatchet?
If you come any closer, I will, without hesitation. I don't need you anymore, Keiichi-kun, but I want to be with you until the end, so please don't make me mad, okay? Okay?
She sounded gentle, but her expression was telling me that there really would be no hesitation. Rena would crack my head open with the hatchet immediately. But who cares? If you were in my shoes, what do you think you would do?
Of course, I don't want to die, so I wouldn't oppose my opponent. If they had a weapon, I wouldn't be scared.
That's a lie. I know. I know you're strong enough to give up your own life for the sake of your friend. It's my turn now. My turn to be strong. I'm just like you. I won't hesitate to give up my own life for my friends. If you want, I'll give that life to you. Stop this. If you trust your friend, stop hurting her. The same pain will attack you later, so stop. No one's trying to scare you. We're all thinking about you. Don't doubt that. Please believe it. Trust me. If you can come to trust me by smashing my head, and go ahead and crush my head in with that hatchet. I won't try to protect myself.
Don't come any closer! If you do, I'll light this place up!
Then I lifted the lighter overhead. You fool! How long are you going to dream about these crazy things? You already know that yourself, don't you? It's all just a bad dream. You want someone to wake you up. I'm here. I'm here to wake you up from your nightmares.
You're the one who has to wake up, Keiichi-kun. Can't you believe that those aliens are trying to invade the village? You believed me back then. Are you doubting me again? Can't you trust me?
Rena opened the lid of the lighter. I could tell her thumb was about to light it. Rena was prepared to die along with everyone else. Rena would die without knowing the truth. She would die believing that it was the world that was crazy. She would die cursing everything in this world. That was the storyline of this tragedy, wasn't it? This was a theater from hell. What an interesting script. Who wrote it? A devil? Shit. I won't let this happen. Don't underestimate Keiichi Marabata, the original main character. Don't think that the same storyline will work again. I'll be taking over the script this time, and I'm going to destroy it. I won't let this bad ending take place. I'm going to destroy their expectations. You're the one who doesn't trust me, Rena. Just trust me. Shut up and trust me. This is all for your own sake. As the main character of the previous tragedy, I'm telling you this. You just shut up and listen to me.
What are you talking about, Keiichi-kun? Shut up and trust you? You're the one who doesn't trust me, Keiichi-kun. Why don't you believe me?
Shut up! I know you're wrong. I know how you'll end up, so you're going to regret it in the future. I don't want you to finish your life without realizing what you've done. You just don't know how sad this is.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you okay, Kate-kun?
Yeah, I bet. I bet you have no idea what I'm talking about. I'll tell you the story of a pathetic guy. Once upon a time, there was a pathetic guy named Keiichi Marabata. He had no complaints about his life, and he spent every day having fun with his friends. But one day, he started to doubt them. After a while, he started to doubt everything. He didn't notice that he worried his friends were. He hurt them, repeatedly. How sorrowful! They trusted each other, but they couldn't let each other know. Can you believe something as stupid as that actually happening? Then I beat you and Mion with a metal bat to the point of death. But you begged me to trust you until your final moments. You didn't even try to protect your head. You trusted me until your final moments, reaching your hands out to me. I didn't realize what you were doing and beat you to death anyway. Do you know how sinful that was? I bet you have no idea. That's why I have to make up for what I've done. I'm going to stop you, Rena.
If you come any closer, I'll light the lighter!
Just as you tried to save me from my life, I'm going to save you, Rena. I still remember how magnificent you were when you died. You weren't even afraid of it. These words will reach him, she thought. The next words will make Keiichi-kun realize. Trust me, Rena! That was when Rena hit my head with the hatchet. I crumbled down to the floor. She hit me with the handle, but my head was still probably cut open. I felt the blood on my face.
Poor Keiichi-kun, that's not your own will. The parasites that have been living in your brain are controlling you. Oshi-san will find the medicine for it. When he comes, I'll let you take the medicine first. Then you'll be free. You'll return to the Keiichi-kun that I loved. Just hang in there for a little while longer, okay?
Damn it, ew. I heard a phone ringing in the teacher's office. I listened to the phone for a while, and then realized it was for her. Rena tried to answer the phone in the classroom, but she couldn't figure out how to transfer the call, so she decided to answer it in the teacher's office instead.
I'm going to the office for a bit. Don't run away, okay? If any of you are missing, something terrible will happen to me-chan, okay?
Rena glared at everyone in the classroom, intimidating them, and then left. That was when I heard a honk from the outside. I remember the signal from earlier. Did Oshi-san want to get in touch with me? I bent down and picked up the receiver earphone in my ear. Can you hear me? This is Kumagai from the Okamiya station. Please cough if you can hear me. Very good. Please listen carefully. The gasoline the suspect spread everywhere is very dangerous. The classroom is filled with vaporized gasoline right now. It's like a bomb. Please don't aggravate Ryugu-san, and don't let her play with the lighter. Please, don't provoke her any more than you just did, okay? This bug is awful. It's possible for the gas fumes to ignite at the slightest spark. Therefore, please turn the bug off after this communication. That's just to be on the safe side. Also, one last thing. According to the suspect's note, she has set a time bomb. A time bomb? She used a kitchen timer to make a simple time bomb. The classroom will explode if it goes off. We're trying to get some sleeping pills ready to give it to her as an antidote. We don't have much time left. According to her note, the timer is set for 7 p.m. I looked at the wall clock. It was 6:45. There's only 15 minutes left. I could hear Rena screaming into the phone.
No, the time has already been set! Hurry up, Oshi-san! I won't wait for even a second longer!
As you can hear, Ryugu-san is refusing to reset the timer. She's going to kill herself in 15 minutes. I remember thinking the same way as Rena. After I killed Rena and Mion, I knew the police were coming. I thought someone would solve the mystery after I died. That's what Rena's thinking, that she had been planning to kill herself from the beginning. What do you want me to do? The sleeping pills should arrive soon. But if an explosion took place before we could negotiate, there'd be no point. We want you to find the time bomb and disassemble it. You mean cutting red and blue cords like in the movies? It's probably simpler than that. According to the suspect, she used a kitchen timer. It's not a battery-operated one. It's one of those ones you plug in. It looks like an alarm clock. Do you see anything in the outlet in the classroom? There's only one outlet in the back and another in the front of the classroom. I checked, but I didn't see anything that was plugged in. No, I don't see anything. If an ignition was to take place someplace else, it wouldn't work. It must be somewhere in the classroom. No, I don't think so. The only cord coming from the hallway is the one from Rena's phone. Is it possible for the kitchen timer to be battery-operated? It's a type that's powered by electricity. Could it possibly be in another room? If there's a different room where she could spread gasoline, then the timer could be there. Are you telling me to check the whole school? In 15 minutes? Damn it, I'm injured here, you know. But if I stayed here, I'd die in 15 minutes. It wasn't a time to be pessimistic. This was probably my last chance to stop this tragedy from taking place. She said gasoline while I was out to deliver the scrapbooks, but she may have done it in a fairly short amount of time. I really didn't think she had enough time to spread it anywhere else other than the classroom. Then where was the time bomb? We are doing everything we can here, so please help us. That's all. If you don't have any questions, I'll end the communication. Is there anything else? No, not really. Wait, yeah, I do have one thing to say. What is it? Please tell Oshi that he should never have told Rena about my past. If I come out of this alive, I'll punch him, so he better be prepared. Wait, 2 punches. One for telling Rena about me, and another for telling me about Rena. I understand. Oshi-san is disappointed in himself for letting Rena and Ryugu fool him. I'm sure he'll be happy to let you throw a punch or 2. Is that it now? Yeah. I've already wasted a few minutes here. See ya. Be safe. Rena was still on the phone. Oshi-san had definitely tried to stall her. From what I could hear, it sounded like he was telling her that the investigation in the main residence and found something awful in their secret basement or something like that. I mean, there is a secret basement with lots of awful stuff in it. Hey, if you went too far, Rena would believe everything again. Miona's going to get hit for lying.
Keiichi!
Rika-chan and Sadako crawled up to me.
Did you hear?
Traps are my specialty. I can't let Rena-san do this to me. Sadako realized how serious the situation was as well. The lives of the hostages, including her own, were about to be taken. Yet she tried to remain strong. Sadako, even if you die, please don't hate Rena. Rena's sick. She's just unfortunate enough to get this tragic disease. Remember, we have so much fun together.
Sadako, I still believe both you and Rena are wonderful friends.
How can you say that? She's your friend? After what she's done to Mion-san.
But can't you understand, Sadako? Once the demon starts to act up inside, no matter how tragic the outcome, you just can't stop it.
Sadako quietly hung her head. I didn't understand what Rika-chan was trying to say to Sadako, but maybe.
I believe in Rena-san.
There you go, Sadako. I hugged Sadako's head. Rika-chan's arms were tied, but she couldn't embrace Sadako, but she put her forehead closer to her and praised. Okay then, I'm the world's best trap expert. If you're gonna blow up this room, where would you set a time bomb?
Count on me. The device has to be connected to an outlet, huh?
Yeah, that's right. But it couldn't be somewhere else other than this room. It's possible that she spread gasoline all over a different room and set the device there.
No, I don't think she had enough time to do that. She had gasoline hidden close by and only spread it here. That's all the time she had.
I remember now. Rena told me last night that she had prepared something for today. That means that she had things ready since then, at least.
That's all the hints I get, eh?
What a cruel minesweeper game. You can find it, Sadako. If you can't, there's no way I can. I'm wagering all my trust in you.
You can do it, Sadako. In order to save Rena, please find it.
In that case, very well. I shall prove that Rena-san's trap is child's play compared to one of my own. I'm going to ask you one more time. If you were to blow up this room, where would you set a time bomb? Sadako grinned and closed her eyes to concentrate. Who are you people? Move over. Who's in charge here? Several cars have arrived, producing several men. They weren't from the Okimiya station. One of the men was wearing a suit despite the hot weather. He approached me, pushing Kumagai aside. It's Kasai! Hey, look who's here! Good to see you again! Oh, Taka-kun from the prefectural headquarters? Watch your mouth. I'm ranked much higher than you now, so don't address me so casually. Can I help you with something? Oh, Taka-kun. I'm rather busy at the moment. You can't possibly be talking about taking over this case. Who approved that, exactly? I did, Oshi-kun. Chief? Takasugi-kun has informed me of the situation. He also told me that you started all this. You can go now. Troops will take over. Troops? Oh god, you aren't planning to storm the building, are you? I understand the risk, but we don't have any time left before the bomb goes off. It's taken too long. We're here to take care of the mess you left behind. Now step back for a minute. I couldn't talk back if both the chief and a guy from the prefectural headquarters gave me an order. Oshi-san, who the heck is he? That's old Taka-kun. A long time ago, he was showing off, even though he was bad at mahjong, so I taught him a lesson. Maybe he's still holding a grudge from when I knocked him unconscious in that kendo tournament. Obviously, we didn't get along. Give me the latest update, Oshi-kun. Are you serious about storming the school? We're about to settle things peacefully with some sleeping pills. What are you trying to accomplish here? It's too late for that. If we have another hour, that would be possible. Instead, a special unit from the prefectural police department will move in. Your unit will be their backup. Chief! You know what's going on, don't you? That classroom itself is turned into a huge bomb. But even the classroom isn't the bomb we're scared of. It's the suspect, Rena Ryugu. We've finally calmed her down and found a way to settle this peacefully, and we're about to start that operation. I know we only have about 10 minutes, but I'll make sure this works. I'll continue negotiating. If it doesn't work, I'll be blown up. And you can sit back and say, I told you so, okay? Oshi-kun, the special unit from the prefectural police department isn't just any old unit. You've heard about the second company, haven't you? What's that, Oshi-san? Is this second company that well known? Do you remember about 5 years ago, when the JR hijacked the airplane, Flight 472? I've heard that special counter-terrorist units were put together in Tokyo and Osaka after that incident, so they really do exist. But why would a special unit from Osaka be here? Otaka smiled proudly. We just happened to be holding a training session with your prefectural police unit. We requested their help. You haven't changed, have you? You have a bad tendency to escalate matters quickly. Company members exited the vehicles one after another and took position. They didn't move like policemen. Otaka-kun! Are you really going to have a gunfight here? One shot is all it'll take to trigger an explosion. Don't worry. They won't use firearms. They're using riot shields and riot guns. These guns send out tear gas at high pressures. There'll be no issue with explosions. Wow, I never heard of such a convenient water guns. By the way, can the toy reach the classroom across the schoolyard? You don't need to worry about that. You just move over and let us do our job. As I lifted my arms exaggeratedly, one elbow accidentally hit the car horn, which honked. Of course, I did it on purpose. Are you trying to get Keiichimaru's attention? Of course. I just hoped he heard it. What are you going to tell him now? They're probably thinking about breaking one of the windows with a grenade and then shooting tear gas into the room. I have no idea how serious Rena Ryugu is. Deadly serious. Even the noise of a window breaking could drive her over the edge. Are you saying the special unit can't suppress her? Of course not. That's why we've been so careful. Rena Ryugu has been intending to kill herself this whole time. A raid doesn't work on people who don't care about dying. We only have Maibara-san now. Okay, 1 second. I gotta get water. It's getting intense. My throat's parched again. Son of a bitch. Water. Okay, I got water. Please. Okay, so gotta get. Okay, I got it. Oshi-san, here he is. Hello, this is Oshi. If you can hear me, please cough. This is an emergency. Please listen. I have a feeling it's not good news. Unfortunately, you're right. Prefectural police are getting involved. They're going to ruin everything we've worked up for so far. There's a special unit about to break in. Hey! The only reason I haven't used my pepper spray is because that wouldn't stop it from igniting the gas! A raid won't work! The prefectural police don't understand that Ryugu-san is prepared to die. They're assuming the lighter's just a threat and that she isn't really going to ignite the gas. They'll break in within 5 minutes or so. Please take the lighter from Rena Ryugu before they move in. Is that in addition to your order to do something about the time bomb? Yes, that's right. God damn it, you've got to be kidding me. You want me to take the lighter from Rena and do something about the time bomb too, all within 5 minutes? Come on! You're the only one we can count on. I'm begging you. How is it, Sadako? Can you think of something? I just have to check the hallway on the first floor to check whether it's there or not. Knowing Rena's patterns, if it was on the first floor, it'd be there. If it was on the second floor, it'd be there. Have to check to see if there's a cord in the hallway on the first floor, right? It should be there. If Renaissance was in a normal state of mind, I would know for certain, but with her being like this, I can't figure out her through her patterns right now. Okay, I'll do something. You don't even have time to think about it. I'll look into those 2 options myself. I don't want another tragedy. You demons down in hell, I bet you're just waiting for an amusing ending to unfold while eating some popcorn. I won't let that happen. I'm going to change everything. And I'm going to make you pick up your popcorn off the floor! You bastard! Stop littering! I spoke to Rena as she continued on with her story about the aliens.
Huh? What is it? What's the matter, Keiichi-kun?
Hey, didn't you hear something just now? Rena went quiet and looked around. Rena had become totally paranoid about everything. When she became worried, she couldn't ignore it.
Really? Are you sure, Keiichi-kun?
Yeah. I'm sure I heard something. I knew she'd want to check it herself. She really couldn't leave the room for something like that. So in that case, she'd have to ask me to check for her. And I must have been thinking the same thing. Keiichi-kun, can you go check? Rena gave me an order with a big smile on her lips. Yeah, okay. Rena watched me go out into the hallway. As I did, she spoke to me. Don't make me angry, okay? Trust me. I'm your friend. Yeah, I trust you. I trust you, so don't betray me, okay? After being freed from Rena, I looked for a cord in a hurry. They didn't even have 5 minutes. Police probably, or the office probably had more outlets than anywhere else. I headed for the teacher's office. Shit, where were the outlets? Unlike light switches, outlets couldn't always be found near entrances. Damn it! Why'd the clock in the teacher's office have to make such a loud ticking noise? Don't worry, Keiichi will find it. Rena's-san would, if I were Rena's-san. If Rena's-san was even more mistrusting than usual, where would she set the trap? A trap expert like me ought to be able to discern that. What's this? I saw a plug inserted into a unit under the principal's desk. I also saw a cord extending under the door to the reception room. There shouldn't be any reason why a cord should be extended into that room. The reception room was an outlet of its own. I tiptoed over to the reception room and opened the door. Squeak! The door squeaked as I cracked it open a little. I poked my head inside the reception room. I saw a suspicious cord crossing the room and extending into the door to the hallway. I followed the cord to the reception room. I opened the door to the hallway, and the cord was extended to the storage closet. The storage closet was used to hold cleaning chemicals. I could smell them from here. The cord was extended from there. I carefully opened the door and turned the light on. The cord was attached to another extension cord, and there was an alarm clock that didn't belong there. I found it. A time bomb! All I had to do was unplug the cord. I picked up the alarm clock. It looked like a normal alarm clock. Actually, it was a normal alarm clock. Remember Kumagai-san saying it was a kitchen timer? He said it was a bit like an alarm clock. This wasn't a bit like an alarm clock. It was an alarm clock. Wait, didn't an alarm clock use batteries? This alarm clock was a battery-operated one, too. I looked at the extension cord, and there was nothing plugged into it. Huh? What's this extension cord for? Why was this extending all the way from the teacher's office? No, Kate, run! Sadako! It's the wrong place! You've been tricked! Oh, hi, Rena. Black shadow was covering me. I felt my body freeze. So frozen that I felt it about to crack. Turned around slowly. Saw someone holding a hatchet above their head. Dropped the alarm clock. It made a noise as it hit the ground. Why did you follow the extension cord? And why do you have an alarm clock in your hands? Why do you? All the cells in my body were frozen. This was Rena's trap. Rena was suspicious of everyone, including me. This whole time, she thought there was somebody connected to the people outside. This was the trap to lure that person out. Only the people outside knew about the time bomb. I was told about the whole thing, so I followed the extension cord and picked up the alarm clock. How stupid of me. Wait, Rena. I trusted you, Keiichi-kun. How could you? Rena hit me with the backside of the hatchet earlier. It was painful, but it didn't kill me. But this time she was holding the hatchet the right way. It wouldn't just crack my forehead. It would split my entire head open. Rena lifted the hatchet mercilessly. She moved slowly, as if everything was in slow motion. She was almost divine. Really, maybe it really was holy. I was praying, after all. Praying? What was I praying for? I was praying for my life. Rika! It was so sudden I couldn't tell what happened. Rika-chan had jumped onto Rena from behind. I didn't know what kind of weapon Rika-chan had used, but Rena started moaning. It clearly hurt. That brought me back to reality. I couldn't just watch them. I had to get the lighter from Rena. Ah! Don't think you can win this with mere force! Rena knew I was after the lighter. She closed her fists around it tightly. Rika-chan had grabbed onto the arm Rena was holding the hatchet with. I wanted to tell her to run, but thanks to Rika-chan, I could use both my hands to get to the lighter. Ah! The lighter flew out of Rena's hand. It hit the hallway wall and dropped down onto the floor. I picked it up. At the same moment I did, Rena managed to shake off Rika-chan. Oh. Kate-san! I know now. I figured it out. No, wait, no, that was Sadako. I figured it out! I heard Sadako scream from the classroom. Sadako had figured out where Rena hid the time bomb. I wanted to catch Rena, but I didn't have time for that. I had to do something about the time bomb instead. Keiichi! Hurry up and go to Sadako! Rika-chan had spread her arms, blocking Rena's path forward. What are you doing? Just run! Keiichi, this isn't the first time I've done this for you. Don't you remember? Huh? If I tried a little harder for the previous time, You could have made it. So this time you're going to make it! Just go! I didn't know what Rika-chan was talking about. But there was one thing I did know. Just like Rena and Mion were ready to give up their lives for their friends, I was willing to give up mine. Rika-chan was prepared for that too. Therefore, telling Rika-chan to run was like telling her that she wasn't my friend. And so, I will depend on my friend, Rika-chan. Thank you, Rika-chan. Keiichi-san. For running out of time! Everything's going to shit! Fuck! You mean the Rika-chan? I dashed toward the classroom. I have a red mug. I feel it's important to mention. I have this really lovely red mug I got from my bun daughter that says, "Don't tell me to keep calm," which I feel works really well in this situation. As soon as Rika heard Keiichi's footsteps reach the classroom door, she sighed in relief. "Oh, hi, Rena!" As she did, Rena's black shadow came even closer. That's great! That's just great! This isn't a club activity, you know! You'll be killed for real! You'll be killed by an angry Rena! You're not afraid of me, are you? You're amazing, Rika-chan. Rika grabbed a mop as she ran from the storage closet. She picked it up and held it upside down like a spear. Rika's stance told Rena that she was ready to fight. Rika didn't look like a little girl anymore. She looked so brave that Rena was even startled by it. Boy, you really are amazing. You aren't afraid of being killed at all, huh? Rika smiled cynically. Rika usually never smiled this way. Do you really think I'd be afraid of death? I've experienced several hundred deaths up until now. Why should I be afraid of it all of a sudden? You aren't Rika-chan, are you? You're the one I met that night. Show yourself, alien! Where's the real Rika-chan? The real Rika? She's right here. Meep, meep-pa. Ha! The way you're looking down on me, that really is like Rika-chan! I get it. Oroshiro-sama is an alien. The Fude family's descended from him, and therefore you're descendant of aliens. Sure. Okay, whatever you say, Rena. I'll crack open your head and drag out all the parasites in your brain. Rena raised her hatchet and charged at Rika with a scream. One swing is all I need to smash your head open! Rena looked like a beast charging toward its prey. Rika took a step backwards and lowered her body, preparing to counterattack. She did that, without hesitation. Even a minute is plenty. I'll play with you. Come on, hatchet girl. Do you not get it, Keiichi-san? All the hints are already in place this morning. Calm down, Sadako. Explain more slowly so I can understand. What are you trying to say? It's simple if you just remember. Come on, it's quite obvious when you do. Hey, something sneaks today. Close the windows. Silly, it'd be hotter in here if you close the windows. I've been smelling gasoline coming from the outdoors. There's no forestry people in the office, so they wouldn't do any work today. The smell wasn't coming from anything they were doing. In other words, it was the smell of Rena's gasoline. Rena hid the gasoline near the classroom. She had it in a plastic container. You can't smell gasoline that's in a plastic container. In other words, she had more gasoline ready, just in the container she had used to spread around in the classroom. Where was the smell coming from? Wasn't it coming from outside? Vaporized gasoline is heavier than air. It stinks. It sinks. There's another hint other than that. What? Our ball is missing! You hit it again, didn't you, Hojo? Why would I hide such a stupid thing? If I was going to hide something, I'd hide it better than that. Kids who love to play with their ball never lose it. It should have been in the same place it always was. But it was gone. So that must mean that Rena used it for something. The gasoline was coming from above. The ball was missing. So maybe it was stuffed somewhere. Rena-san blocked the drain with the ball and poured the gasoline into the drain canal. Where? On the roof of the second floor! The drain canal extended along the roof of the second floor. It came straight down to the ground. If it was plugged and filled with gasoline, it was like a huge Molotov cocktail that was extended from the floor to from the ground to the roof of the second floor. Furthermore, the drain canal was ran by the classroom windows. If the canal exploded, the classroom would explode too. Therefore, the time bomb must be... I bet she ran an extension cord out to the second floor window. It's on the rooftop! I picked up a pair of scissors and ran to Sadako's bonds. By the way, how did Rika-chan free herself from the rope? I apologize for not being thin enough to slip out myself. I rubbed Sadako's head. Take care of the rest here. I'm going up to the roof. As I jumped out of the classroom, Sadako stopped me. Keiichi-san, here! What is it? It's the bat! Something silver sailed through the air. I caught it. It was a metal bat.
That's Nini's. Make sure you give it back to me, okay?
Sure thing. Thanks, Sadako. The metal bat fit right into my palm. I didn't even feel its weight. It really eased my mind. The name Satoshi was written on the handle. This was the bat that belonged to Sadako's brother Satoshi. He was the victim of last year's tragedy. You and I were the same. I won't let another tragedy take place. I'll treat this as a gift from you, who was waiting in the wings. Let's rip apart the script of this demonic tragedy together! Let's go, Satoshi! As I tried to run up the stairs, I heard a loud noise coming from the hallway by the teacher's office. I saw Rika-chan rolling on the floor. Damn, Rika-chan! You had as long as you could. Damn it. My body were 5 years older. Ugh. You're next, Kate-kun! Ah! Shit! Go! I had to get to the rooftop! How'd you figure it out? How did you? Still, I won't let you get up there. Lena's face looked unbelievably scary. She was ready to rip me apart if she caught me. In that case, just try me. I jumped upstairs, skipping every other step. I turned on the bug in my pocket. I didn't have time to put on the earphone. Senna flew up the stairs. Her foot got caught on a jump rope. Ha! She tripped, and then 3 buckets fell on her head. Oh! Oh! Sadako's trap, bitch! Wow. It was Sadako-chan, huh? Sadako leaned against the wall and waved her index finger in a mocking gesture. You were pretty good, but you're about 300 million light years too early to go up against a trap expert like me. Light years is a length of measurement, like a length of space, not a length of time. It's like parsecs. Ugh. Sadako-chan, light years are a unit of distance, not time. Smash! The 4th bucket hit Sadako on the head. I continued up the rooftop. I love how just fucking, it's a unit of distance, not time. Ren ignored Sadako and ran after me. Oh, Oshi-san! I did it! I got the lighter! I know where the time bomb is. It's on the rooftop of the drain canal. I'm heading there right there. Oshi-san, is that it? Oshi grabbed a pair of binoculars from Kumagai and looked up the ring getter on the rooftop. There was something like an alarm clock sitting there. The cord from the clock was extended into the 2nd floor window. It was so obvious, but they didn't even notice it until just then. Sadako was working hard to remove her classmates' restraints, but she couldn't do anything about the bite lock on Mion's neck. Just run. Forget about me. That doesn't sound like Mion-san. Why don't you act like a club president, why not act like our club president, even in a situation like this? All you have to do, as our president, is to give me an order to undo this lock, okay? Sadako reached for the back of her collar and produced a bent hairpin. Sadako opened the window, climbed down to the windowsill, and forced the bike lock that was restraining Mion. Everyone, open the curtains and the windows and then run! But class prez, what about Maibata-san? The police will help Kei-chan. You all need to run as soon as possible. Huh? Did you unlock it already? To me, this type of lock is child's play. Police! The binoculars were trained in the classroom. All the curtains were opened, as well as the windows. The children, in turn, were all running out into the schoolyard. Oshi pushed Otaka aside and grabbed onto his radio and yelled into it. All units, go! Go, go! Secure the hostages! The suspect is going up to the 2nd floor, running after one of them. Hey, what are you doing? Otaka tried to grab the radio from Oshi, but Kumagai stepped in. Oshi-kun, give me back the radio. Ah! There was a dull noise, and Otaka crumbled to the floor, convulsing. Oops, sorry. Guess my knee happened to hit your balls. Oh! Ow! Shit! The classroom is still filled with gasoline. Be very careful. You are forbidden from using any gas bombs or flares. Again, do not use gas bombs or flares. The whole place will blow. Support unit to HQ. We secured 24 hostages. 1 is injured. This is the assault unit. We're trying to take control of the 1st floor. We've got a problem. The electrical room is locked, and we can't get in. You can't get in? Can't you break down the door? It's located directly opposite the classroom. The smell of gasoline is strong here. We might ignite the glass if we break down the door. We'll await further orders. Shit! Could have just turned the power off. Forget the electrical room. Just secure the 2nd floor. Assault unit, roger that. Alpha, go, 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 go! Otaka-kun, what are you going to do if they fail to secure the electrical room? That's what the special unit was for. This is the problem with rich boys. We'll just have to secure the clock's outlet then. Sniper unit to HQ! I can see a male hostage on the rooftop of the 1st floor. Oshi-san! That's Maibata-kun! Give me the speaker. Maibata-san! The The clock is plugged into the back room on the second floor! I shook my head repeatedly. I couldn't do that. Brenna was coming after me, so I couldn't head that way. What else could I do? The only way I was going to get up to the rooftop of the second floor and get the clock was from there. Maibara-san! Continue up the roof to the second floor! I'll direct you from there! Oshi-san was telling me to go further up. Sadako had only told me it was on the rooftop of the second floor, but she didn't tell me where exactly. She only said that it was in the drain canal. But maybe Oshi-san found it with his binoculars. I put my foot on the railing of the veranda and ran up to the rooftop. I never felt so light. I never felt like I could lift myself up with just 2 or 3 fingers. That's it, keep going! It's at the furthest end of the drain pipe! You only have 30 seconds! 30 seconds would be plenty of time. I could get there in half that. Over there. What was that? It was! Sniper Unit to HQ! I can see the suspect on the rooftop of the first floor. I wish you could fire, but you're using live ammo, aren't you? It's not tear gas or anything, is it? No, it's live ammunition. Use those in the military. Japanese police don't need anything like that. Maibara-san! She's after you! Hurry! She'll be there soon! How many more seconds did I have? Oh, who cares? Wah! Rip! I slid down the roof, grabbed the kitchen timer that was sitting on the drain pipe, which is filled with gasoline. There was a cord with a copper wire attached to it. This was supposed to create sparks and start an explosion. The handles on the clock kept moving, with the second hand trying to reach the minute hand. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3... Wah! I threw it to the ground. A moment later, I heard the noise of something breaking. Did I do it? I'm not dead! Assault Unit to HQ, the bomb has been stopped! Yeah! Woo! Victory! Oshi-san, we did it! We did it! Yeah. Maibara-san, good job. Kate-san really certainly made me nervous. Cutting it so close isn't elegant, you know. Not only policemen, but the children were on their way to the ambulances, raised their voices in cheer. Oshi-san, there's a message from the fire department. The scene is still dangerous, so order all units to retreat immediately. Isn't the time bomb gone, though? Although the ignition device is gone, it's still extremely dangerous. The lives of the assault unit might be at stake. Damn! What about my Barakun up there? Sir, can you jump off? Oshi-san, according to the map, there's a flower bed of the school building. We'll tell him to jump there. Yeah, and he'll break his knees! Oshi to all units. Stop the operation. Fall back immediately. Fall back. Alpha here. Roger that. Beta here. Roger that. Fall back. Fall back. Can you hear me, Maibara-san? Ryugu-san too. It's too dangerous to stay there. It might explode at any minute. There's a flower bed by the school building. Jump down there. Flower bed? Damn it, I can't see it from here. But it didn't sound like I had enough time to be looking for it. I noticed a white hand on the edge of the roof. Hi, Rena! Hey, Rena! Rena slowly called up the rooftop. I waited for her there. Hey, buddy. I never thought you'd find it. It was all for nothing. Rena scratched at her throat. The band-aids peeled off and her throat started to bleed. It's game over, Rena. We were confronting each other on the rooftop of the second floor. This wasn't a club activity, but a real battle. Rena was glaring at me with hatred at first. But maybe she had just already given up and started smiling wickedly. I heard the chorus of the Higurashi in the background, as if to cool us off from the heat of the battle. I didn't think we needed service yet, though.
Yeah, if it was a board game, you'd have reached the goal and won. But this isn't a game.
This is a game. This is definitely a game.
So this isn't the goal. It's a dead end.
Shit, you don't give up, do you? Rena, you really are strong. You never give up. You fight until the bitter end. You keep believing until that point, too.
Praise like that won't make me happy now. You ruined everything that I'd risked my life for, Kage-kun.
I was simply trying to protect our species from the aliens. You ruined it! If humans go extinct, it'll be your fault, Kage-kun. That'll be recorded in history. I didn't mean to laugh, but I couldn't help it. My name would be written down in the history books of the aliens, the one who destroyed the human species. Somehow, that sounded kind of cool. Rena, no matter what you have to say, I've won this game. I've already won and you just don't want to admit it, that's all.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
But maybe that's not how it works. A game doesn't end when there's a winner. It ends when there's a loser. That means, for me, winning isn't enough.
What do you mean?
I tapped my shoulder with the metal bat, gesturing for Rena to come to me. I'm going to make you understand that you lost. I won't run or hide. Do you know why? According to the rules of our club, we don't run from our enemies. I'll prove to you that you've already lost, Rena! Are you ready? Parasites and aliens. How stupid. Who would believe such things like that these days? I can only laugh. Ha 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 ha! You never believed me in the first place, yet you pretended that you did. How dare you deceive me? I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive you! I don't care if you believe in those things, but I could never believe in anything that's stupid. Well, if I did have to believe in anything like that, I would have believed buried treasure in the Tokugawa Shogunate. But you still want me to believe. Don't you remember our club rules? Whoever concedes victory is the correct one. There you go! Ren and I grinned at each other. As we went around in circles on the rooftop, we both checked the distance between us. If you can take me down, I'll believe in your alien stories. I'll perform a mysterious dance every morning and night to call for UFOs to come and beam up livestock. But Rena, if I take you down, I want you to be ready. I don't think you even need to think further than that. I don't think you do. You will never defeat me. Rena came out with you with a heavy strike. I caught it easily with the metal bat. It looked like there were some sparks. This was finally getting interesting. Hey, maybe you shouldn't say that yet. You might be wrong, you know. When I get through a whole lot of fierce battles in our club, I learned something. I learned about myself. Now I know what I need to do to bring out my ultimate power! Darkness? You need darkness?
Really? I wonder what it is. I wonder...
Rena, your hatchet can be a powerful weapon. But my metal bat is as powerful as your hatchet. Sure, it doesn't have a blade, but it reaches farther and it's easier to handle. I won't be going for a defensive battle. I'm going to fight you face to face, and I'm going to defeat you. I'm sure I'm stronger than you physically, but you're better at drawing your true potential, Rena. In other words, we're equally matched. This is great. I won't need to hold back at all.
So what are you going to do after you beat me? Take that! That and that! I think I might have the upper hand.
Huh? I'm just warming up. Just you wait and see. Wait and see what I do after I take you down! We've put a lot of chips on the pile. Prepare yourself for having a big payout!
Aren't you counting your chickens before they hatched? Your bluffing is just pathetic.
You don't get it, do you? My strength increases in proportion to my reward, don't you know? Let's see. You'll be my personal maid. Starting from the moment I wake up until I go to sleep at night, you'll serve me all day, every day. Keiichi, now is not the time. With Coach's help, you'll wear a different costume every day. Wait until I go to sleep at night. What if I make it so you won't let me sleep instead? Keiichi, how about that?
That's so like you, Keiichi-kun. No, thank you. Actually, I'll win and I'll make you my servant.
We both laughed like crazy people as we struck at each other. It was strange how much fun it was becoming. Brennan and I were trying to kill each other, and yet it was a blast. Sparks were flying. We could get seriously injured. If we fell off the rooftop, we'd break our bones. Yet this was so much fun. I'd been mourning and crying all day today, while Rena terrified me. How did it all turn into this? The two of us can't be serious even if we try. Even with the sparks flying, we can only goof around.
Yabaida! That's not me. I like being elegant and graceful. You can have fun goofing off by yourself, Keiichi-kun.
His next strike came at a strange angle, but I managed to deflect it. Whoa! Ta! That's too weak. You're done!
Finally, I'm all warmed up. This is just a warm-up, right?
Huh? Stupid, this isn't even a warm-up. This is like a taking a walk. Hey, you're all sweaty.
I'm not. Instead of sweat, you're covered with your own blood.
My butt is on! Jump off! Come on, jump! He isn't even listening to us. He's so into it that he can't even hear anything. What she said? Sorry. What is it? What do you mean, what is it? We have to figure out a way to rescue him! Oshi-san couldn't figure out why he was distracted considering the seriousness of the situation. He was engrossed in watching the two of them fight with the sunset behind them. But Oshi wasn't the only one. Everyone watching was captivated by their battle on the rooftop. At that moment, a sudden loud voice broke the silence. My Bada-song, hang in there! Careful, don't fall! The students who were about to climb on the ambulance were cheering him on. Mian was being loaded onto a stretcher with bandages around her head, but even she sat up captivated as she was by Rena and Keiichi's duel. Our once happy days were supposed to have shattered due to a series of misunderstandings. They were supposed to be irretrievable. But, why? Why did I feel this way? This is such a close game, but it wouldn't be fun to stay in a stalemate forever. Rena and I kicked at each other with perfect timing and increased the distance between us. Hey, this is a blast! What do you think, Rena? Isn't this just the best?
I've been having fun since the very beginning! But it'll be even more fun to split your head open, Keiichi-kun! Split it open!
Oh, that's dangerous. Over here! Come back over here! Let's use more space! Something like this doesn't happen very often. Let's enjoy it as much as we can.
This would make a great picture. Look, there's a beautiful moon behind us. The breeze feels great.
This is such a fantastic scene. Two people were fighting on the rooftop of the school building with the moon behind them. It was almost unbelievable. While the policemen and children looked at the mysterious, fantastical scene from a distance, completely entranced. Everyone is singing the same thing, but nobody said anything. Why does it look like they're having fun? Getting all fired up in a breeze this cool? It reminds me of the Watanagashi Festival. I don't really like to just sit back and enjoy the cool of the evening in silence. When the moon comes up, I turn into an animal! All us club members went crazy on the night of Watanagashi. The mayor scolded us by the end of it, but we laughed at each other and promised to do the same thing next year.
Going crazy under the moon, huh? That sounds cool, doesn't it? Maybe we are already crazy.
Yeah, I feel the same. We're having fun trying to kill each other. We must be mad already. This is what insanity must be like. Some people say the moon has the power to arouse passions in people. Maybe that's true, or maybe it's not. One thing that is true for sure. Yeah, even if we were new moon tonight, we'd still feel the same way. As our surroundings got darker, the sparks we created with Avery hit started to look like fireflies. Hey now, isn't there gasoline in a drain pipe right nearby? Who cares? When an explosion happens, it happens!
Hey, what are you doing?
Are you getting too sweaty to hold the bat?
Why don't you take a break and dry your hands off? I'll split your head open while you do that, though.
That's a good one. Isn't your skirt clinging to your legs? You can take it off if you want. I'll just watch you instead of attacking.
Really? Then I'll give you a good blow to the head when you're charmed by my legs.
Jesus Christ. These fucking nerds. It's really so much fun, isn't it, Rena?
Yep, it sure is.
We flew, we danced. We struck, we laughed. We stepped back once in a while to catch our breath, and then charged at each other to let the sparks fly. We aimed at each other as we went around the circles on the rooftop of the school, our special stage. Rena and I were all sweaty, but we weren't exhausted yet. The beads of sweat rolled down our bodies just tickled me. We exchanged furious blows one after the other. Neither of us had the advantage or disadvantage. Neither of us exulted in victory or raged in defeat. The battle with Rena was in itself fun. It was like a dance. A dance. I couldn't dance by myself. It was a dance I can only dance with someone with whom I was equally matched. Didn't you think the same thing I did when we did club activities with the whole class?
The day we dueled with the water guns?
Yeah, I did.
We wanted to fight like this again! As we thought that way on the rooftop, classmates down below must have thought the same. Our fight was so pure and passionate that everyone thought the same thing. We want to join them.
It was the same back then. We're just using water guns, but we did the same thing.
But this is far more fun. I don't have to worry about how much water I have left in my gun.
Yeah, we can't create sparks with water guns.
We couldn't strike at each other like this either. We were both breathing hard, waiting for the right timing to take a step forward. In the midst of that, we grinned at each other. This is exactly what I said then. I'm going to say it again.
Okay then, I'll respond just the same.
We both smiled wickedly at the same moment. This is so much fun! I don't even want it to end this!
Don't hate me if you lose!
Oh, I won't. I'd hate myself for ending this game. But I know I wouldn't be the one crying in the end.
I don't know about that. Your feet are getting weak as if they're made out of straw.
Shut up! Whoa! Everyone is captivated by our fight. They were swept up in our fight. We both had weapons. Weapons deadly enough to seriously hurt one another. But we were both perfectly matched, and neither of us had hit the other yet. Why did they look so happy? That was just ridiculous. All the people below were just watching this fight on the rooftop with the beautiful moon as a backdrop. Not even the police could stop them. This was impossible. The battle was absurd and absolutely impossible. Kate-san! Try to stay in the middle of the roof! Use the height to your advantage! Sadako and some of her classmates cheered Keiichi on, but there were some who were cheering for Rena, too. To them, this was no longer a fight to the death. It was just the second round of their water gun battle. Club activity is a club activity, a game is a game. This was just the second round, so nobody would die. Even though they had real weapons. Nobody thought they would get hurt. Rika wasn't cheering, just looking up at the rooftop. I've never seen anything like this before, Rika thought to herself. She thought Keiichi would win, not just against Rena. Rika thought Keiichi could destroy the walls of the mazes of tragedy that had no exit. What are the snipers doing? The suspect is trying to harm the hostage! Fire immediately! As Otako yelled into the radio, me on screen for him to stop. No! No! Don't shoot Rena! Rena isn't crazy anymore! She isn't who she was earlier! That's a different Rena! So please, don't shoot her! What do you mean she's different? Look! She's swinging around that weapon! She's trying to kill him! Unless we shoot her down, the hostage is in danger! No! No! Don't shoot at Rena! If you shoot Rena, Kei-chan will kill you for sure. I can guarantee it. Why would he kill me? They're not trying to kill each other! They're just having fun creating sparks. Can't you see? Kei-chan is talking to her too. He's telling her that they're equal. That means that she can trust him more than anyone. Kei-chan will wake Rena up. No, he's already waking her up. Rena's nightmare is almost over.
Keiichi-kun, you're the best! I don't even want to kill you anymore. A world without you would be so boring.
Thanks for the compliment. I appreciate it. So, what's going to happen in the world then, huh? Aren't aliens trying to invade it?
I don't even think I care about aliens or parasites anymore. If the world's going to perish, go ahead and perish. Who cares about the conspiracy of the three families anyway?
That's right, even if a meteor hits the Earth tomorrow.
Nothing could be more fun than this moment.
Hey, aren't you supposed to die tonight due to some poison? You sure you don't look like you don't have a few hours left to live?
That's right, I completely forgot about that. I'm supposed to claw out my throat and die tonight.
Hey, that's the scenario you came up with, don't forget. Come on, scratch your throat once in a while at least. Hey, I know, it doesn't itch anymore, does it? It definitely doesn't itch. This is more fun than scratching your throat ever could be.
Yes, this dance of ours is way more fun.
wished it would never end. But my body was screaming. I was breathing hard and I felt dizzy from lack of oxygen. My upper body felt as light as a piece of paper, and if even a slight breeze could take me away. It really had been a blast, but I needed to end it soon. I felt the same sadness in that water gun fight. Back then, it had been declared a draw. I wonder what will happen this time.
Who knows? But one thing is for certain.
What?
I love doing this with you.
Me too. I jumped backwards and slammed the roof with my bat. The sound was intense as a huge drum. The noise woke up the people who were captivated by our fight. Silence returned and the chorus of the Higurashi filled the air. Okay, let's pause for a moment.
Sure. Let's end this with one more strike.
We started to move slowly and increase the distance between us. People realized it. This fight was ending very soon. Okay, this is it. I'm going to ask you one more time.
What is it? Are you betting something on this right now? Right? Isn't that why we were fighting?
Isn't that why we were fighting?
I did? Sorry, I forgot.
You're hopeless. Okay, listen carefully. If I win, you'll become my personal maid and serve me every day. You'll have to introduce me to each other as your master.
My uniform better be cute.
Of course it will. There'll be a variety of uniforms ranging from old-fashioned ones to ones that are a little dangerous. They'll be custom-made so they'll fit you perfectly. How about that?
My goodness! I didn't intend to lose, but that could be fun somehow.
If you win, Rena, pause for a moment. If you win, I'll believe your stories. Rena was happy until just a moment ago, but the expression suddenly wiped from her face. Aliens are invading the Earth and we have parasites in our brain. The Sonozaki family's pulling all the strings. They're researching the parasites in secret and the aliens will be in control of the world starting tomorrow. I will believe in that. Also, since you're dying tonight, I'll make sure you go peacefully, so don't worry.
It's not fun if I win, is it? Your reward sounds a lot more fun, Cage-kun.
Well, what can I do? You did all this because of what I just said, right?
Yeah, I guess. Sorry, I almost forgot.
Rena smiled sadly for a moment, but soon the expression was wiped off her face too. I'm going to win no matter what. I want my personal maid.
Boo-boo! It's not fun if I win!
Then do you want to change it? What do you want? Finally, Rena smiled happily again. The breeze dried our sweat. It was a good feeling. We no longer went crazy, even with the moon out. We'd finally enjoyed the coolness of the evening. It'd be nice if we could just lie down on our backs and gaze at the moon. Still smiling, Rena spoke.
I want the same reward as yours, Cage-kun.
What? You want me to be your maid? That's something.
You don't have to be my maid, but the rest is the same. I want you to say good morning to me every morning and good night every night. I want you to treat me well and let me play around all the time. I guess, no matter who wins, we'll always be together.
We'll always be together, but one gets the special treatment. It's different.
Why am I fighting with someone I like so much?
I don't know. Why are we on the rooftop? Why did we even come up here in the first place?
I don't know. I forgot.
Maybe we're both airheads. That's why we floated up here.
Yep, we're airhead buddies.
We're buddies, alright. Well then, shall we get started? I don't want to cool down too much.
You're right. We better finish up before it gets too cold.
We readied our weapons and took our stances.
I was going to suggest that we stop this. I really was.
Shook my head slowly. No, we have to finish this. Otherwise it won't end. Our fight won't end. We can't quit. We have to bring it to an end.
This isn't right. It's possible that no matter who wins or loses, there'll be no reward.
Even if that happens, we shouldn't hate each other. So I'm going to tell you this now.
What?
It was fun.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Rena, even if one of us dies, we'll see each other again. And when we do,
we'll have fun in a normal way. We'll laugh together in a normal way. And we'll fall in love in a normal way. We won't doubt each other. We'll trust each other. And we'll meet again. Right? For sure, right?
Yes, for sure. Tears appeared in Rena's eyes. I noticed I was about to break down too. Okay. Are you ready? There was no signal, but we stepped forward at the same time. Our shadows jumped in the moonlight. We were fighting so viciously earlier, but now it was like we were moving very slowly. We must have looked like a shadow play. Everyone was watching the shadows dance. Rena's shadow hit my metal bat violently. As a result, I let go of it. The metal bat bounced once on the roof, then rolled down to the schoolyard. I'd lost my weapon. Here was Rena's chance. Of course, she wouldn't miss it. I was lying flat on the roof, and Rena got on top of me. Rena's knees were holding down my arms, and there was no way for me to fight back. The moon was divided in two. The shadow of Rena's hatchet split the moon right down the middle. This was the end. Shit, that was good. Can't even pull my arms away.
Hey, Kage-kun, it's over, right?
Not yet. It's over, and it's not over until you swing down your hatchet.
I don't wanna.
Huh?
I don't want to. I don't want to.
Rena's arms were still raised, but tears were pouring down from her eyes. What happened? What went wrong?
I loved everyone, and I trusted everyone. When did I start to doubt them? I don't know why I'm doing this to you. I don't know. Why? Why am I doing this to people I love so much?
You realized it. You realized it in this world.
I can't believe myself. Every day was so much fun, but why? Why? I didn't have any complaints. I didn't worry about anything. So why did I try to destroy everything with my own two hands?
Lena, you're incredible. After I killed you and Mion, I didn't realize I had done anything wrong, so I left a note and called Oshi-san. I still believe someone else is at fault. Even after I was dead. I didn't even notice I had sinned. How sad it was to kill my friends because of a little misunderstanding, even when they were trying to help me. And how painful it was not to realize it was a sin. Therefore, you're amazing, Rena. You didn't kill any of your friends. You came to your senses before you committed a sin. You're incredible, Rena. Just incredible. You're totally different from me. Rena stood up slowly and lowered her hatchet.
I hurt my friend. I hurt Mi-chan.
Just apologize to her. Personally, I appreciate that the wounds would help me tell the twins apart.
I've already killed.
Huh? No, you haven't. Who did you kill?
Rina, Miyama, and Tepehojo.
Ah, those two. I thought it was right to kill them.
I thought it was right to kill them, but the day I killed them, the world started to go crazy. Did that mean that it was wrong to kill them?
I don't know if it was right or wrong, but it wasn't the best thing you could have done.
What do you mean the best thing?
Don't you know? I grabbed Rena's head and embraced her. Then I told her something so simple. So simple anyone could think of it. But Rena didn't do it. And I didn't do it either back then. If you're in danger, or you feel like doubting others, or something sad happens, it's so simple. You should talk to your friends.
That's right. You're right. Oh.
Rena cried in my arms for a while. She cried about the wrong choice she had made at the very beginning. The choice couldn't have been hard to see. I'm sure it was something that was within her grasp. How stupid it was to worry about it by herself. She had friends. And she had friends whom she trusted. Why did she think she couldn't talk to her friends about it?
I was wrong. Why didn't I talk about it? Everyone trusted me, so why didn't I trust them?
I was the same way before. That's why I won't laugh at you. But you realized it. You realized it a lot sooner than I did. We will trust each other. We will never doubt our friends. We will rely on each other. We will talk to each other and help each other. That's why friends are always happy, and why we can endure things together. Okay, Rena. Why don't we respond to the curtain call? This is really the end of everything.
Well, what do you mean by the curtain call? What do you mean?
Well, I was just talking to myself. Come on. We stood up together holding hands, the moon hanging behind us. When I nodded, Rena threw away her hatchet. It disappeared into the darkness below. Then I spoke to the audience in hell, the demons who weren't expecting this ending. As proclaiming victory. That's all for tonight! We overcame this tragedy. We will never doubt each other again. We'll be united forever. No matter what disaster might befall us, don't think that we'll ever yield. Who cares about tragedy? Who cares about disaster? Even if the script is written by demons, we'll tear the whole thing up to pieces. Oh man, it's gotta be a happy end, because that's a good ending. Ah. It's the incident at the Forest Service office in Hinamizawa! Nobody was killed, everyone survived. Everyone got severely sick, though, probably after having to inhale all those gasoline fumes. Because I get lightheaded and woozy from that. Because, like, I hate gasoline fumes. I hate them so bad. I hated working at the gasoline station when I worked at Circle K. It's terrible. Walk on, see gasoline, held the school's hostages for over 7 hours. Oh god, that must have made everybody fucking sick. The remaining hostage fled to the roof. After a brief pursuit of the suspect engaged in combat at 7:10, she agreed to disarm and surrender, freeing the final hostage. 7:10, huh? Wow. Casualties, all. Four, all minor. No casualties. It was not casualties. They were just injuries. Sonozaki Mion. She was captured by the suspect around noon that day. She escaped at 6:45 and was taken to safety. Suspect inflicted minor injuries on her during a fight. Minor injuries during a fight. Sadako. Minor injuries during her escape. And Keiichi Marabata. Yeah, there it is. There's Keiichi's name. Captured by the suspect around noon that day. Was released by the suspect at 7:10. Received minor injuries when engaged in combat with the suspect. Fucking Sadako, you're not supposed to fall and suffer minor injuries during your escape, you fucking twat. Regarding the arrest of Reina Ryugu, she disarmed and surrendered to the police at 7:10 and was subsequently arrested. She was taken to the Okamiya police station in question. She admitted to the outline given above. AKA, fucking I tried to burn down my school! There was some dispute about the accountability of the suspect during the crime, but after subjecting her to a psychiatric examination, the prosecution determined that the suspect is fully accountable for her actions. Oof. No guilty plea on that one. That would have been different in the US. The defense, in the direct opposition of this, has submitted their own psychiatric explanation report denying the suspect's accountability, and the trial is currently in session. Well, that's nice. See, it's a good ending. Nobody died. Everyone's happy, except for Tomatake-san and Takano-san, who are both dead. And, of course, Rina and Teppei, but they kind of deserve to die because they're giant assholes and they deserved it. Like, there are very few characters who I'll ever feel like, man, they deserve to die. But, like, I mean, yeah, death's the permanent answer to a temporary problem kind of thing. But, like, they kind of deserved it. Besides, at least for Rina, freaking Rena was defending herself from being killed, so it was an act of self-defense. So that's less problem. But yay! We finished the chapter. Or did we? We didn't. We haven't finished it. There's still a few things left. There's the epilogue after all that we have to go through. The epilogue is important. Sarah jump mode has been unlocked. Yay. Tips reading room. Yep. Grit! Alright. The demon script. Okay. The curtain call. So nobody technically died. But that wasn't a happy ending.
Oh, Meg. Staff room. I did that wrong. Menu. Turn to the main menu. I hit the button wrong. Let's try that again. I didn't go in the staff room. Don't worry, game. I actually meant to view the last tips. And then go into the thing. Oh, bank. Tips. Be the last one. Go on page 2. Demon script. Okay. The 17-year, the Heisen era, early summer, AD 2005. This is in the future. The car began to rattle as the road turned from asphalt to gravel. The cry of the cicadas swept through the tightly shut windows. Most people would open their car windows and let the natural air in along with the sound of the cicadas. People are also spoiled. He'd rather keep himself cool with the air conditioning turned to max and listen to the sounds of nature. Usually it was a rainy season at this time of year. But this June, the summer had already come without any rain. It's just how the weather was on that day 20 years ago. The air around this area is just as clear as I remember it. Yeah. The winds are cool and the sun shines bright. This place could have been a World Heritage Site like the village in Gifu. What a waste. But thanks to that, there's no irritating tourists around here. See, that makes it much better. Why do tourists forget about the pedestrian traffic laws when they're in rural areas? They walk in the middle of the road, you know? Akasaka-senpai! Do you still do stuff outdoors? Not as much as I used to. My job doesn't get me much free time. Same here. Oh, hey. There he is. The other man noticed and waved his hand before looking at the car that knocked down. The man was a young fellow on a motorcycle with a big backpack on his shoulders. Looked like he was ready to go camping. Akasaka and his partner stepped out of the car and shook hands with the young man. Captain! It's good to see you again. Yo! How have you been doing lately? Well, I hope you can take it easy today. This is Akasaka-senpai. He took care of me back in college. Hello, my name is Akasaka. Oshi was supposed to come today, but he had to go for a medical checkup at the last minute. Anyway, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's an honor, sir. So, Akasaka-senpai, where shall we go first? His name was Mamoru Akasaka. He was a veteran detective from the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department. Despite the fact that he was close to his retirement, he had not lost his clear interest and sharp eyes at all. Those eyes showed the confidence he had built through many years' experience, and had well-built muscular body and a fearless aura. He must have fought against many violent criminals. His connection to Hinamizawa went back almost 30 years, all the way back to 1978. He was in the Public Safety Division in the Metropolitan Police Department. He came to Hinamizawa in an investigation of the kidnapping of the grandson of Inugai, the then Minister of Construction. There he met Oshi and Rikafure. Rikafure predicted her own death. Akasaka regretted for the rest of his life that he couldn't save that little girl from her fate. He saw the news of the great Hinamizawa disaster on TV and met up again with Oshi. They pledged to uncover the mystery of both the cruel fate and that fell upon the little girl and the mysteries of the mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. Unfortunately, Hinamizawa was sealed off for a long time. As a result, all Akasaka and Oshi could do for the past 20 years was publish the little information they had gathered, and ask for readers to send their tips and clues. But recently, the seal on Hinamizawa has finally been lifted. However, they couldn't come to Hinamizawa until today due to Akasaka's busy work schedule and Oshi's poor health. In fact, Oshi was supposed to come with Akasaka, but he was called in for an emergency health checkup. The other two had come along were Akasaka's juniors from the university. One worked at the ground SDF, and the other was his subordinate. They were assigned to the mission of sealing off Hinamizawa, so they were quite knowledgeable about the village. Akasaka took out a scrapbook from his bag. The corners of the scrapbook were all dented, making it look very old. Akasaka flipped through the pages, stopped for a second, and let them know about his first destination. Right, please take me to the Onigapucha swamp. No problem. Right this way, sir. The young man got on his bike and waited for the others to get back to their car. They honked at each other to signal that they were ready, and the young man led the car to the swamp. Heading through the forest, they came to an open area where the ground was covered by concrete. There wasn't even a single drop of water in sight. All the water of the swamp had been replaced by concrete. That was what Onigapucha swamp looked like now. There wasn't even a single drop of water, let alone a swamp. I was told that they sealed the swamp off after the disaster. This place was already encased in concrete by the time I arrived here for my mission. Let's go down there and take a closer look. Akasaka got out of the car and walked to the center of the concrete-filled swamp. It wasn't a parking lot or a heliport. It was just a huge, empty concrete space right in the middle of the forest. So this is a place where people say was landing and spotted UFOs. Really? I never heard of that. That's what they write on occult websites. They say that this is the place where our government met with aliens. You can't blame them for such rumors, though, since the empty concrete space in the middle of the forest sure does look weird. Volcanic gas erupted from the swamp in June of 1983. The deadly mixture of hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide engulfed and destroyed Himazawa in a single night. The village was sealed off, and the SDF covered the swamp with concrete. But the people who write those rumors on those websites and the internet actually have a point. Any geologist could tell you covering a source of volcanic gas in concrete is absolutely useless. That's true. I've never heard of anyone trying to prevent a volcano from erupting by pouring concrete over its crater. On the other hand, our country is known for wasteful construction using taxpayers' money. That sounds familiar. Lately, people have loved using things like supernatural phenomena and UFO to write on the internet about the Great Hinamazawa disaster. It's also known as by now that the cause of the disaster was the eruption of deadly volcanic gas from a magma crater. In 1986, a similar natural disaster occurred on Lake Nyros in Cameroon, Africa, so people easily believe that such a rare natural disaster could occur anywhere on Earth. That's what happened in Hinamazawa as well. However, a rumor about another possible explanation began to fly around the internet recently. They say the disaster was a cover-up by the government. It's actually a biochemical terrorist attack by aliens. By aliens! Why had such a rumor began to spread now? They claim to back up their theory with a secret document known as File Number 34. Someone online named it File Number 34 for descriptive purposes, but the name spread and stuck since because it sounded like a government conspiracy. People loved it. It's unknown how or from where they obtained these documents, but they posted scans and pictures, which were all ridiculous. Plus, more fake evidence was produced over time, so now even the existence of such documents are in doubt. File number 34 deserves a little bit more explanation. However, since it started on the internet, truth and lies are all mixed together and became more like an urban legend. So this is what is believed mostly to be true. File number 34 is a notebook written by a nurse named Mio Takano, who worked at the local clinic in Hinamizawa. File number 34 was most likely named after her. This woman was a... Mio... Ha! I get it! Me is 3. Yo is 4. Ha! I get it! This woman was a researcher who studied the demon myth of Hinamizawa and tried to solve what it meant. The contents of this notebook state that she prophesied the Great Hinamizawa disaster of 1983. According to her research, the UFO crash-landed in Hinamizawa a long time ago and sunk into the Onigafucha swamp. The UFO carried parasitic bacteria from space and had begun to infect the locals. The infected villagers began to behave extremely violently, so much so that they'd fit but for the word demon. Takano insisted that this is an explanation for the myth about demons pouring out of the swamp. An alien who survived the crash realized that the Earthlings had gone crazy because of the bacteria he brought in. He decided to show themselves to the villagers to help them out. This is how Orishiro-sama was born. The alien was able to cure the villagers with highly advanced technology, but couldn't eradicate the bacteria completely. Since the villagers looked up to the alien as some sort of deity, the alien utilized its status to hand down specific rules to the villagers in order to stabilize the disease. The bacteria took a liking to Hinamizawa's habitat, so when a carrier of the disease left Hinamizawa, their symptoms would reemerge. Therefore, the alien made a rule not to leave the village. This leads to the legend of the transience of Onigafuchi. The weird practices and miracles about the village performed were realized by the means of the advanced technology they received from the aliens. Those maniacs do indeed have a colorful perspective on things, don't they? Do they remember Nostradamus' prophecies? People said that the world was going to end in 1999, but nothing happened in July, and people acted like they didn't even know about it. Those TV shows made people as scared as they could be, and then they ignored the fact that it didn't happen. But Mio Takano did predict the Great Hinamizawa disaster. That's not a lie. Look at this page in the scrapbook. You must be joking. The Kasaka-senpai, is this for real? As time passed, the bacteria stabilized in human bodies and became harmless. The aliens and the bacteria began to fade away from people's minds. However, the alien had lived on for hundreds of years with the protection of the three families. It still lives on as the spirit of a deity in the secret temple of the Fude Shrine. The alien manipulated the bacteria living inside the villagers and maintained control over them for hundreds of years. The alien wanted to regain its power and started researching how to bring back its lost powers of bacteria, etc., etc. Things getting stranger from there. People say that disaster is actually part of the aliens' plan to conquer the entire Earth by spreading the reawakened bacteria. The Japanese government had a secret division that would fight against alien invasions.
And they trained the Area 51 in the US, etc., etc., and they moved in to stop the invasion by sealing off the entire village and then killed off all the residents by using toxic gas. Hey, there's a movie that's just like that. Some black guy's the lead character. What was the title? MI something? Men in Black! It's not true, but okay. Yeah, okay, it's too crazy to be real. But the writer of this is a bunch of bull. Mio Takano was mysteriously murdered in 1983. Right before her death, she gave this scrapbook to a girl as she knew she was going to die very soon. This girl was known as Girl A. It's Rena. Some guy who investigated the case was able to track down the name Reina Ryugu, but also known as Reina Ryugu theory on the internet. Reina Ryugu inherited Mio Takano's will by means of the scrapbook. She tried to fight against the planned invasion by holding a school hostage and demanding the local police uncover the aliens' plot. Of course, no one believed her, and they assumed that she was in a state of paranoia. She was in a state of paranoia! Back then, people assumed that Reina Ryugu took Mio Takano's delusion seriously and was motivated to commit a poorly executed crime. When she was held school hostage, Reina Ryugu told local police that the aliens were controlling the three families, piloting bioterrorism on a massive scale, and the next day, the Great Hinamizawa disaster occurred. You've got to be kidding! Wouldn't it just be a coincidence? I don't know. According to people who believe it's not just a coincidence, there are many inconsistencies in the SDF's immediate sealing off operation. Filling the swamp with concrete is one example. Several of the SDF soldiers on duty at the time testified that some people were conducting secret investigations outside of the usual geological survey before the area was closed off. Of course, those who think it was just a coincidence say that the researchers simply took precautionary measures to keep unauthorized people out of the area. I have to agree with the latter people. People also question why they sealed off the village for such a long time. After all, after its volcanic gas eruption, Miyake Island was only sealed off for 4 or 5 years. What happened to Hinamizawa was an exceptionally rare natural disaster. It was sealed for over 20 years. I heard that the residents of Miyake Island returned to their homes faster than they originally intended, because they had requested it so strongly, but in the case of Hinamizawa, there was no residents alive who wished to return in the first place. Perhaps the government took their time until they were certain that it was safe. Government conspiracies. How about this one? The SDF members who were on the mission to seal off Hinamizawa had their blood samples taken periodically. Some of them were discharged from the mission without any explanation after the results came back. Some believed that they were using the members of the SDF as human test subjects to see if they got infected or not. I think they were just checking up on the members' health conditions, since they were in an area where the gas disaster occurred. Besides, normal businessmen also take annual physical checkups when they have their blood samples taken as well. Yeah, I understand your point too. But I have another interesting theory. There's some people who believe there was no gas emitted during the so-called Great Hinamizawa disaster. No volcanic gas. What does that mean? Basically, what they're saying is that there was no volcanic gas, and it's sort of a government cover-up. It's like in the Spielberg movie, you know, the one where the humans make contact with the UFOs? See, that's exactly how maniacs always explain things. What kind of basis do they have to say that there's no volcanic gas emission? Well, a bunch of those maniacs came to Hinamizawa as soon as the seal was lifted. According to them, the hydrogen sulfide in the volcanic gas should cause some corrosion on metallic items and huge damage to the wildlife. However, they found no sign of disruption, which led them to claim that there was no volcanic gas to begin with. But this village was abandoned for over 20 years. I doubt they could find anything anyway. What's the thing with the internet? They don't believe anything you read into it. Akasaka-senpai, please don't tell me you're buying into these stories. At first I didn't, but lately I'm beginning to think that there might be some truth to them. You believe in UFOs? Oh, come on! Well, what if the scrapbook is the real number 34? Huh? The scrapbook is the one that Reina Ryugu possessed when she took the school hostage in June 25th, 1983. It's assumed to have been lost during the confusion and the disaster, but Oshi-san's old friend was able to locate it in the evidence storage on the prefectural police headquarters. Back then, Oshi thought Reina Ryugu was delusional, but after reading this again after the Great Hinamizawa disaster, some of the contents seemed to hold vital clues. It's not the alien part that it was not the alien part that he was interested in, but her theory that an endemic disease, parasitic microbes in Hinamizawa were responsible for the curse of Oshiro-sama. Of course, there is no proof that such microbes existed, as it only remains at a theoretical level. Oshi-san says that the three families might have been researching how to bring back the original deadlier microbe in order to revive the religious devotion that the villagers used to have. The Great Hinamizawa disaster could be the experiment that went wrong. His theory is also based on the theories and myths he found on the internet. The village clinic's chief doctor died mysteriously right before the Great Hinamizawa disaster. Girl Rika Fudere was brutally murdered on the night Reina Ryugu took the school hostage. There could have been an underground research lab beneath the village clinic. Dr. Ide could have been forced into doing microbiological research, but he couldn't live with his own sins and committed suicide. Rika Furue could have been brutally murdered as a sacrifice as some sort of ritual ceremony in the name of Orishiro-sama's revival. However, their experiment went wrong. Instead of the microbes being parasitic in the villagers, it became a killing virus, and they exterminated the entire village in one night. It's obvious that it wasn't a simple gas disaster. You can't ignore the fact that one girl predicted a bioterroristic attack right before the disaster, and several villagers died mysteriously, including Mio Takano herself, who wrote all that down in the scrapbook. It doesn't sound right to say that the Great Hinamizawa disaster was unpredicted and a coincidental natural disaster. When you read this file number 34, it's obvious. So you're saying that the Great Hinamizawa disaster wasn't a rare natural disaster, but it was the fact of an act of bioterrorism by some cultists? In the modern era, everyone in Japan looks about the shocking incident where doomsday cults created a nerve gas, sarin, and unleashed it in the purpose of mass murder. But in the 80s, the idea of a single cult being able to carry out such an act of terrorism didn't even cross our minds. Some also whisper that the SDF kept the area sealed off for so long so they could study some lethal virus, but I'm not convinced. At least the story sounds more convincing than the one with aliens and UFOs. The idea of cultists and domestic terrorism sounds more rational. Maybe there really was a UFO that crash-landed. When Reina Ryuna took the school hostage, one of her demands of the police was to have them pull up the wreckage of the UFO from the Onigofuchi swamp. That's ridiculous. I don't even know. I wanted to make sure if it was ridiculous. Look at it. The swamp is filled with concrete, several meters thick, and there's no way we can check. It's all because of that ridiculous construction that didn't have to do anything to prevent volcanic gas. Well, the only way to prove Akasaka Senpai's theory would be to find a survivor of the Hinamizawa and try to find that microbe in him or her. Sadly, that's almost impossible. After the Great Hinamizawa disaster, some survivors were subject to a witch hunt. And if there were any survivors, they wouldn't tell you what they were from this area. Right after the disaster, some people who were from Hinamizawa started displaying erratic behavior. When they started dying mysteriously and had committed suicide in strange ways, people got scared of them and chased them out of their neighborhoods. The government was particularly useless in protecting their privacy at that time, so the former residents of Hinamizawa lied about where they were from, and have kept it that way since. In that case, it's a dead end. And it's my duty as a cop to keep trying. There's enough circumstantial evidence to say that the Great Hinamizawa disaster is a natural one. If I could grab a hold of one piece of concrete proof, I think I could start reeling in the truth behind all this. Yeah, but it's been over 20 years. The truth might be lying somewhere very deep in the darkness. Shit. Fuck, I skipped text. That's true. I might not find the answer. It's already the 21st century. What happened to Hinamizawa in June of 1983? The only factual evidence I had was that Mio Takano mysteriously died and left her scrapbook predicting a bioterroristic attack. A young girl took a school hostage to make people listen to this prediction, but no one took it seriously. The chief doctor of the village clinic committed suicide. People believed that a little girl, Rika Furue, was a reincarnation of Orishiro-sama and that she was brutally murdered. That's the truth behind the scrapbook. Was it written to reveal a huge conspiracy? Was it just a bunch of delusions written by an occult maniac? If the contents of the scrapbook were true, the disaster could have been avoided if they had just heard the warnings of one girl. If they weren't true, then who created the disaster to follow the scenario of the scrapbook? After the sarin nerve gas incident, the words mind control came into the spotlight. In contrast to brainwashing, which was really to force a person to commit certain acts in the short term, mind control takes a long term to gradually make a person believe that he or she must do what is right to do, and to act upon it as if it is his or her own idea. It's a form of character alteration, which is far more serious than brainwashing. The cult behind the sarin gas incidents induced fear and anxiety into its members, through its revelations of doomsday. At the same time, they ordered them to do certain things as a means of salvation, and had them do so voluntarily. The formula was quite similar to how Reina Ryugu became a puppet of file number 34. So, does that mean the Reina Ryugu was mind-controlled by someone? Does that mean that the cult had mind-controlled her, tried to cause the end of the world in order to increase the credibility of their teachings, just like the other cult did? Would that make file 34 some sort of religious textbook for them? My lost grip on what's true and what's not sometimes make me feel that someone might be laughing in amusement at this disaster. The scrapbook was like a script. It was a script of a tragedy that takes the lives of thousands of villagers in one night. It was a script of demons who laughed at the loss of human life. Someone wrote the script. Someone performed it. Someone watched the show and laughed. Damn it. What the hell happened in Hinamizawa of June of 1983? Yep, disaster happened regardless of them having that happier ending. Everyone still died. Rika still got brutally murdered. And it still sucked ass. And I'm going to watch the last thing from, we can go to the staff room, and then I'm going to call it a night, because I'm going way longer than I meant to, but I wanted to finish this. Hello, my name is Risushio07. I hope you enjoyed playing the Higurashi When They Cry Ho, Chapter 6, Tsumihoroboshi. There are several themes I wanted to write in this chapter, but I'd like to talk about the one of them here. It's about the denial of murder. There's something I had to write sooner or later, since this is a novel about serial murders. There are two means that the youngsters in particular use these days to solve problems, that are murder and suicide. When we feel stressed, we choose to either get rid of the source of the stress, or to get away from it. Let's say you're bullied by a kid at school. You have two ways to solve the problem. You either choose to get rid of the kid from your current environment, or you get away from the environment itself. Usually bullies are stronger and have their underlings, so you can't stand the chance alone to get rid of them. So, it's also not easy to switch classes or quit school, so you can't get away from the situation. As a result, the situation gets worse day by day, and your stress urges you to solve the problem immediately. And you come up with murder or suicide as easy solutions. If suicide is considered defeat, you'd want to consider murder. I feel like there are many people who think that way. However, you actually committed a murder, it wouldn't be easy to pay for the sin. I believe murderers know that well, too. But you really hate the bully who pushed you into the limit, which you had no choice but to kill him. So with your determination it turns your entire life upside down, you commit murder. But if you have such strong determination, there will be more ways to take that than opting for murder, which is shown to be the last resort. You can talk to your friends. If that doesn't work, you can talk to your family. If that doesn't work, you can talk to your teacher. If that doesn't work, then what? There has to be more ways. If you have the determination to give up in your life by committing murder, then there has to be more ways. Our modern era is better than any era before it. There are many hotlines that you can call to talk to someone. Even if you don't have any friends or family, there are places you can go to for help. The people who will answer the phone aren't amateurs. They're volunteers. They're also veterans who worked as social workers or juvenile counselors for a long time. I can assure you that they have more social experience and passion than your parents do. People who work to help people for free can't be bad people. If you feel like you have no choice but to kill the bully or commit suicide, please try to call those hotlines. People who think it's useless to talk to others usually haven't really talked to anyone. Have the courage to call. There will be someone who can completely rely on the other end of that line. Don't keep it to yourself. Talk to somebody. Ryukishi07 wrote a long story just to tell you this. He must be a very poor writer. So Ryukishi07 wants to talk to you all, rather than worrying all by himself. How can I write even more entertaining stories? 7th expansion. Ryukishi07. With that, I think that's good to end off on for the series for now, until the next 2 chapters are released. So, I'm glad I could share this game series with you guys. I know when they release the next chapters, I'm definitely going to stream those too, because I like playing these games. I like these games a lot. Anyways, I hope you all have a very good night. May the cicadas lull you to gentle sleep.